How electrifying.
7 3-pointers. It's that kind of week.
What's going on here? That's how dominant they played.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Do the honors.
we've changed our name to No Rules, Just Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is happening? Happy New Year's, everyone. This is January 1st. This is No Rules, Just Sports, your favorite unbiased, uncensored sports podcast, the best in the land. Hope you guys had a happy holidays. This is the first day of 2025. Hope everyone's doing well. You got your boys E up top. You got Coach. He'll be here back in just a second. King Rusa back as always. Talk about NBA and your boy Matty Ice. What's going on, everybody? How's y'all's holidays? It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a pleasure. Oh my gosh, it's been so nice to have time away from work. Just resting. Christmas was crazy.
So what'd you do?
Yeah.
What made it crazy?
Holidays time is always crazy.
I was like, so on Christmas Day we were at my wife's mom's, but the day before we were at my mom's, and then we also we went like 4 different places in the span of 4 days, like Christmas shopping. It was just
Happy New Year, Brent.
Crazy 4-day stretch, and so glad it's over. Honestly, I'm just so glad it's over.
Got Coach back with us. Coach, Happy New Year.
What's up, y'all? Sorry. Got some stuff going on. But Happy New Year's, boys. Happy New Year's, man. How's everybody doing?
Good. Sick hat? Got a new sick hat?
Yeah, went and grabbed a hat while I was dealing with what I was dealing with.
Cool, good stuff. So took a couple weeks off. Lots has happened. Tonight we're gonna do our usual. We're gonna hit the NBA first. We're gonna talk some college football. Got some college basketball we're gonna talk about as well. College football, we got bowl season going on right now. Currently, we have Ohio State and Oregon playing at the moment. We'll update you throughout the night. Currently 34-8. Ohio State is leading Oregon right now. So not what everyone expected, but we'll keep you updated throughout the night. And of course, we're going to talk about our bread and butter, the NFL. The Week 18 is coming up this weekend. So sad to see the regular season go, but we got some exciting playoffs coming up just ahead next week. Yep, absolutely. I'm hyped for it, man. I know my team's out of it, but I'm excited to watch the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So without further ado, let's hit the court, shall we?
Yeah. Brent, go ahead and put a Brent comment up, man. I completely agree, man. Those bowl games have not been up to par. A lot of one-sided victories. The smaller bowl games, we'll definitely get into them as soon as we cover the basketball segment. But the bigger games have been blowouts. I mean, I think honestly the best game was the Texas-Arizona State game. That was really close, nail-biter to the end, overtime shit. So, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. Right now, let's go over the NBA standings currently. Top 5 teams right now. You got the Cavs in first with 29-4. Took the spot over the Celtics. Celtics kind of went on a little struggle spree. Celtics in second place, 24-9. Knicks are in third, 23-10. Magic, 20-14, still up there. We'll get into that. Impressive that they've been able to stay in that top seed area.
They're a bunch of dogs, I tell you what.
Yeah.
They're exciting to watch.
You got the Bucks in fifth place at 17-4. And dead last, absolute worst, is the Washington Wizards with a 5-25 record. Goodness gracious.
Oh my God.
I know
So
me and
bad he just blew straight off the screen.
Yeah, he was so mad he left.
I don't know what to say, man, about these Wizards, dude. It's rough. Like, you kind of feel bad. I know we said we'd go and do a dive on the Wizards, but I don't even know if it's even worth it. It's just
what is there to talk about with them? Like,
try and understand why they suck. Really, that's That's what me and Damien have been trying to do all year. We'll pick a team, try to understand why they suck, and then they start doing good. 76ers, they're not doing bad. They're one game out of at least the playoffs. And now the Bucks. We covered the Bucks, and they're in 5th place.
Yeah.
So we've kind of helped them out. So maybe we should help out those poor Wizards all the way down there.
I have a question for you guys. I don't want to get off on too big of a side tangent. Bradley Beal and John Wall leaving. Do you think that's what kind of ruined the structure, or do you think it was their time to move on?
No, it was their time to move on. John Wall stayed a little too long. Honestly, is where is he?
Dang.
I thought he was a tremendous player, but clearly his career didn't fizzle up to be anything special.
Right.
And then Bradley Beal, he's always going to be a Robin player, and it's great that he's with essentially 2 Batmen, because you have KD and Booker over in Phoenix. Do I see them winning a championship? Probably not. Are they contenders for a championship? Yeah, absolutely. But
we'll have to do contenders versus pretenders as we get close to the NBA playoffs.
True. I don't think it's a structure issue from that point. It's a structure issue of the Wizards are doing nothing special. They went and they got Jordan Poole and Jordan Clarkson, right? Is it Jordan Clarkson?
I think so.
No. It's damn, what is that guy's name? Blanking. What's his name?
That guy.
Well, while you think about that, Brent, to cover what you said, man, I haven't watched a dribble of basketball since Yao Ming. I'd like to know why, man. Can you give us your reasoning behind not watching NBA? We're kind of going to go over that a little bit today, once we get past these standings and just kind of talk about the state of the NBA as it sits. But yeah, just let us know why are you not watching basketball anymore? Go ahead. We'll bump over
Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma.
That's what it is. I mean, you're not. You have nothing in this league right now. Not that those players aren't good players, but they're not going to get you anywhere far. They're not going to get you into the playoffs. We'll see what happens.
Interesting.
That's a good take, Brent. It's a very good take.
Interesting.
Honestly, I feel like home field and home court advantage is effective in all sports. Maybe not so much in every team, but think about this. For instance,
like Penn State, bruh.
Think about this. For instance, in our game, they were talking about teams coming to our stadium to play us.
Mm-hmm.
More false starts on the opposing team than any other team in the league right now, because it gets so fucking loud in there. You can't even hear. So
right.
It depends on what team.
Yeah.
Maybe not for every team, but the teams that are very loud and very the way.
Right, like if you're going to play the Carolina Panthers, you're chilling.
Yeah, you're good.
You'll be lucky if there's 35 fans in the stand.
Or if you go to
like Carolina Panthers.
Or like when teams aren't doing very good, the away team's fans are traveling, so that of course it's almost like they're at home away.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it just really depends on the team. Honestly,
it was like that in DC for a long time at FedEx Field, now Northwest Field, whatever you want to call it. It was like that for a long time. I went to, I think it was 6 straight.
To talk about basketball. Hold on, to talk about basketball.
Yeah, you're good here.
I don't know if home court advantage is really a thing.
It is.
What?
Absolutely.
Because during free throws?
No. Just the environment. I mean, let me use a recent example, and then I'll think of like my prime example of like great environments. My more recent one would be playing in Denver. When you go to Denver during the playoffs, you're playing high altitude, and when they're winning basketball games, their seats are filled, and it's hard to win against Denver.
All right, well that's like saying playing in Mile High. I mean, it's the same thing, but I'm talking about is actual fans going crazy, because there is no huddle in basketball. It's just go, right? And there's no chance of you to get a penalty behind too much noise. You know what I'm saying? Like what E was saying. Well, because like what E was saying, the opposing teams have had more false starts in the Viking stadium because of the noise level, because they cannot communicate the play to the players. So it takes too long, or it's just the snap count isn't right. So he goes on two, right? Not everybody heard on two. Dumbass over there is going on one. So I think you get what I'm saying. So it's causing penalties in football, but
in basketball, I think it's more high pressure situations like free throws, especially in the playoffs. If you're at the free throw line, there's people screaming at you and they're standing in front of you. Like they're not that far. They're like 10 feet away from you.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's tough. And that could be game deciding free throw. So
what about baseball? That's another. He asked basketball, baseball, and hockey. I don't know if it's that crazy for hockey or baseball neither. I can understand. That's why I said basketball, maybe because of the free throw aspect, because not a lot of people take free throws for granted, and free throws are not a given. And I agree that basketball, I guess you could say that there is some, and I can't watch basketball. Shoot for anything, and I don't constantly. But I think yes, basketball and football have more of a home field advantage versus any of the other sports. That's my opinion.
I can attest to baseball real quick. I think it's really just going to depend on the fan base. It's going to depend on the stadium. Obviously, Yankee fans travel really well. Dodger fans travel really well.
How the Yankees do this year?
All right, bro. It's a new year. You know what? It's a new year. This is
damn. You just
not this year.
Oh, bro.
Crazy.
You already know you have to talk about his Cowboys. Why would you even bring up the Yankees?
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's
I have to thankfully I'm anyways, baseball, it really depends with baseball as well. Hockey, hockey I'm a believer that home ice doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
I mean, it varies by stadium.
It doesn't get loud in those rinks, like being all enclosed like that.
They do.
You know, it does.
It does. Yeah, I've been to plenty of games, and it does.
Yeah. Winnipeg, Tampa Bay, they're electric down there. It gets really loud down there.
I just don't think it, like we're saying, it does. There's no benefit.
Right. Exactly. Especially come playoff time, though. In hockey, it definitely does not matter.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of away wins by hockey teams, especially like Toronto. Toronto essentially is like the Dallas Cowboys of the hockey of the NHL.
So they lose.
Yeah, they can't make it past the second round. Yeah, I accepted it. So
let's bump over back to
you know what? I've been trying to knock him off and see if he gets mad. He's just like smiling through it all, like fuck.
You know what? It's not worth getting mad over this. I know my team sucks, and we're not gonna.
Like I said, I've been through it a million times. But let's get back to basketball.
Yeah, let's get back
over to basketball. So that was the Eastern Conference, rounding out the top 5 in the bottom of the barrel. What do we got in the West, Damien?
We have no surprise. Thunder up top, 27-5. We got Grizzlies in second place, 23-11. Rockets, third place, 21-11. Mavericks, 20-13, and then Nuggets to round it out, 18-13. And at the bottom of the barrel, again, is no surprise, the Pelicans that are 5-28. Wow. They're worse than the Wizards.
Yeah, they are. Wizards are 5.
Oh, we already talked about that hot fire Wizards team. We already talked about them.
Yeah. It was literally as soon as we mentioned them, you disappeared.
Then he yeeted out.
You know, it must have been because I just don't want to hear y'all talk about how great they are.
Yeah, we definitely gave them their flowers.
Talks about that in Maryland.
But honestly, the story is the same. It's starting to round out a little bit better.
When your team sucks, it makes it easier. I've been a Bills fan my whole life.
Bro, you see what jersey I'm wearing, right? You see what jersey I'm wearing. I've been fucking through hell for 30 years.
I have a good team. My good team. I trust me, I struggle with this. historic loss there.
Jeez.
Yeah. But you know what? A little hot take here. Eastern Conference is looking a little bit better than the Western. I think top five.
A little bit cleaner.
I'd say I
Top
like
five,
the
really.
teams better in the Eastern Conference than I do the Western.
Yeah, so the Eastern, they're looking. You got Cavs, Celtics, Knicks. Those three are looking nasty. And I'm not trying to be my homer with my Orlando Magic, but if my Orlando Magic were healthy, we would be up there, still be up there. So
I'd say probably ahead of Boston if we were healthy.
Maybe ahead of Boston. Maybe like Boston and Magic are like straddling that second
yes,
spot.
yes.
Definitely, I definitely think over the Knicks. I think the Knicks are a great team. I love the Knicks, but I think Orlando is probably a better team if they're healthy.
Yeah.
So.
Put that comment up there. Put that comment up there. How many Steelers fans does it take to change a light bulb? None. They just sit around talking about how great that light bulb is. Oh my god, that is such a good one, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I love Brent already. I love it.
No, but it was a perfect team. That was good.
Yeah, I love this guy
But,
Brent already. Hey, what'd you guys think of the Christmas slate? You want to talk about that real quick? I don't want to spend too much time on that, but was it? You think? I just think it was. I was too busy watching football. I did.
I was too.
It was great.
I watched the last two games. I watched the Warriors Lakers and then the Suns and was it Thunder?
I believe so.
No. It was the Nuggets Sun. I think
It was Nuggets Suns.
I'm going back to it real quick. Yeah, it was Denver and the Suns.
I like it. I think it pits like I don't want to say rivals teams, but like all the games are heavy hitters. It's like teams you want to see. The only gripe I have with it is why did they do away with the Christmas jerseys? Like every player was like looking forward. They always look forward to having a Christmas jersey, and they just didn't.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, they just didn't. They just didn't want to do them. They just put a snowflake on it. Called it a day.
It's like the NFL. NFL only put like a candy cane by the NFL logo on their jersey,
which I thought was cool.
But where's the?
Well, I will say it was funny because I saw like the thing that LeBron was saying. You know.
Yeah, I saw it in the post game conference,
and then I saw somebody else like put a meme up, and it was like average view for the NFL during Christmas was 25 million. Average view for NBA was 5. It's like it's not.
I was literally about to talk about that.
Okay,
Netflix,
but the NBA is a Christmas, like that's their thing. It's always
and the NFL is
it
like,
wasn't this year.
That here we go.
Because
like,
NFL, let me get some of that viewage. Come on,
NFL. Netflix announced that they had 65 million viewers to watch those games.
It didn't crash. It didn't crash.
Yeah,
it looked good.
Crazy.
It looked really good, actually.
Yeah. Quantum was great. You know, I thought was crazy was Ian Eagle's brother announced the Ravens Texans game. That's what really like threw me off because I thought didn't Ian Eagle just announce the Chiefs and the Steelers? And then his brother sounds exactly like him. I'm like, what the hell?
So they said for the Baltimore Ravens game, there was an average of 24.3 million viewers that watched that game. Yeah.
Yes, basketball.
The viewership's peaking at 27 million.
That was just the Ravens game?
Just the Ravens game. And then the Chiefs game had 24.1 million people watch it.
Because all the Chiefs and the Steelers bandwagons had to get their share in.
Yeah.
The Ravens
and the NBA had an average of 5.2 million.
Okay, NFL is a bigger sport. I get it. But who had more interesting games?
Nah, but you can't go out there, LeBron James, with a hot take and be like, "But we, sorry NFL, but it's Christmas is art."
Blame a player. It's any player. It's not even just LeBron.
Nope, it was him the one that said it though.
After winning a game on Christmas Day for saying something like that, come on, I'd be the same.
It's corny. No, it's not. It's corny.
It's not corny.
How dare you think that the NBA is anywhere? And I love the NBA. Don't get me wrong. I love the NBA. I love basketball. But how dare you think that you can compete with the NFL? That was corny. It was a corny take.
It's America's game, man.
Okay. Yeah, I prefer the NBA, but I can acknowledge the NFL status as a sport is bigger. But I think the NBA is more interesting.
Definitely. Cool. What we got next?
So
I do want to point out real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
The Cavs have won 8 straight games. OKC has won 12 straight games. These are the two top teams in the NBA. Like, incredible. Absolutely. Incredible.
I saw something about Westbrook is starting to go off over there in Denver.
He's a nice complementary piece to Jokic.
But it's good to see because Westbrook kind of fell off for a couple of years. You hadn't really heard too much about him, and it's like he found his way. He fits in there.
Please do not bring up his time on the Lakers.
Yeah,
we weren't saying that.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. That, like, legit, he hasn't been anywhere close to what he used to be, and then now all of a sudden he's putting up triple doubles. Him and Joker the same night. You know, that's crazy.
It's true. I feel like he's a more ball dominant person. So
that's the thing. I felt like that's why when the team was built around him, it worked, and that's why when he left, other teams didn't do that, and he doesn't have that complementary style of play. But I feel like maybe he found a way to do that in Denver finally.
I agree, and as much as I love Russell Westbrook, I don't think his play style, as it was, I'm not saying now, as it was ever going to win him a championship.
No,
but on Denver, when he's that complementary piece to Jokic, and you have Jamal Murray, who usually around the playoffs picks it up, now you're talking a whole different ball game. So we'll see.
It's a good-looking dog.
She's a rat.
she makes an appearance like once an episode. We might as well go ahead and get put her as part of the logo.
Yeah, right.
Facts. New mascot.
She's in at least once an episode.
She always got to come by. It wasn't like that in the past. Basketball was the biggest thing since sliced bread. Why other sports? Well, I think all right, let's get into it now. Why there's a few reasons why we can kind of put that, the NBA is kind of just losing its lackluster. It really is. It's for better or worse, a lot less defense is being played. More people are just shooting three-pointers. It's not fun to watch. I mean, honestly, I'd rather see somebody slam dunk. I'd rather see some good defense and fighting in the paint than a guy shooting from the arch, makes it, and then walks the other side of the court.
All right. Let me give my quick opinion that's a little bit more in depth about the three-pointer shooting.
What's wrong?
3-point shooting is not the problem per se. It's the fact that nobody's good enough to be taking this volume amount of three-pointers. Like, there's no even Curry is slowing down when it comes to three-pointers. Like, it's getting to him. Like, nobody's going to be consistently great at that for so long. And these teams just think that they can go out there and they can do it all night. I saw a video. I sent it to Saul, I think last week, where Kobe Bryant was actually talking about it, and he calls it accidental basketball. Everything's just formulates. One guy drives to the basket and he's kicking it out, and it's three-pointer, and it's just like there's no actual play. The play is let me barrel myself down here and just kick it out, and it's just like, well, nobody wants to see that. Basketball is a beautiful sport where you can create so many different plays and so many different ways to create shots, and instead of doing that, we do the same repetitive. Let me set a ball screen. And we're not pick and roll, like throwing it to the basket anymore. It's let me set a ball screen, dribble around, drive in, and kick it out. And it's boring.
If you want,
I think shooting three-pointers.
I think if you want to go and see some good basketball, you got to go to a high school game. Me and Damien went to a few high school games this winter break. They had the Sunshine Classic at our school. So they had schools from like the Bahamas, Tennessee. I found that so fascinating.
That's cool.
Dude.
Awesome.
You had all these different talents, all these different schools come in and play. And obviously there are some teams that did shoot the three and whatever, but they they lost. They didn't do too good because not everybody needs to shoot a three. And then you get coaches that are creative, like our coach Travis Norfolk. There's a lot of ball movement. You see the guys passing the ball, trying to create that space, move in. We have a few bigs. They can really handle themselves in the paint and stuff, and it's very exciting basketball to watch. That's the basketball that I don't mind watching. That's the basketball that I can sit there and watch all the time. The basketball in the NBA is not it. Huh?
We're a defense-first team, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. I love seeing good defense that leads to offense really picking it up. So,
yeah,
it's great.
So, and now let's talk about something else that's kind of out of control in the NBA, and it's the referees. I mean, we've talked about the referees being an issue in football. Would new ownership help? I don't know. I like this guy. What's his name? The owner of the
Adam
NBA.
Silver?
Yeah, he's trying to make it creative. He's trying to do different things. He added the cup. He added incentives. He's trying to do things to make it back to relevant.
Try to get the players trying hard again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But here's the thing. What we're about to talk about is one of those low points that really needs to I mean, it's not going to happen during the season. After the season, they really need to hit the ground and figure this problem out.
Yeah. I think
it's bad.
First of all, if the players talk about referees, they get in trouble.
Fined.
You're not allowed to talk about referees, and I think it's ridiculous.
Coaches get fined.
Do you have any of the clips up?
Preferably, can you play the Drummond clip?
Or just play
where he gets ejected?
Hey, all you got to do is just run the first few seconds. I know some of them are a little bit longer. Just run the first few seconds when they get a tech. You just see where's the tech? Where's the foul?
I have an order.
What are we talking about?
I have an order I want to see these played in. So please, let's play the Drummond clip.
But I also sent like 7.
With his maturity, he is wise beyond his years. Yes, he's getting better and better. And it's knocked down again.
And she threw him out, I think.
Yeah. That was exactly what Jenna Schroeder.
Hold on a second. Run it back, though. What is that?
Impressed with his maturity. He is wise beyond his years. Yes, he's getting better and better. And it's knocked down again.
And she threw him out.
What?
The fuck was that?
I think he tripped, but that was very dramatic.
Bro, he didn't even trip. He did. It was all
with his maturity. He is wise beyond his years. Yes, he's getting better and better.
It looks like he stepped on his foot.
He was on his foot.
Yeah, he stepped on his foot.
Oh man,
the arm that was dramatic.
Bro.
Really sold it.
So the NBA has a thing where you get fined for flopping, right? But I think there should be almost reviewable, and you should get a tech for that. That should be a tech.
You can get a tech in the game, but again, it's the refereeing, and I hope please don't find me. But the refereeing is just so bad. Andre Drummond, he gets ejected. And can you play the clip of that referee?
Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I got you.
What's good, Ben?
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
He gets the bring back in. Drummond's back in.
Yeah, she said I fucked up.
I fucked up. I mean, at least she admitted to it, but
that's what I was gonna say. That is like the first time I've ever seen a referee actively do the right thing after they messed up. Like usually this shit just goes unchecked, unnoticed, and it's play on. Let's go to the next game.
Get an apology letter in the mail, and that's it.
So then
I fucked up. Bring it back.
What's good, baby?
All good.
So then it comes around to this: does the referee need to be punished then?
I don't know. Let's run some of the ones that I sent you. You'll see. You can just kind of run through them real quick, and we'll talk about them. You'll just see all the crazy ass shit that is, and this has just happened as of recent.
They switch Doncic onto Edwards. He gets around him, and a foul is called. And a technical assist to Doncic.
Wow, I don't know what he said, but he said it quietly. Usually Doncic is very demonstrative.
Soft.
Skimmed his arm, bro.
Where's the foul in the first place?
He skimmed his arm.
Foul? First, where's the foul? Second, technical? Tech? For what? Because he questioned you?
He says one thing.
Okay, next one.
Points at halftime. They have 38 points here in the third quarter and a technical foul.
Somebody throw the drink on the court.
That's wild.
He got a technical for telling the referee that there's water on the court.
It's retarded, bro.
All right, can we
next one? Yes. Next one.
Is there going to be a technical foul is called?
They called a delay of game.
Yeah, but
a ball boy getting a technical foul.
Well, all you're worried about is the safety of the players, and they're calling a delay of game on that.
Is that what you're doing?
Really?
Is that what you're doing?
That's what. Well,
Yo, what?
You get a tech. You get a tech.
It's like fucking Oprah out here, bro. They're just handing them out to everybody. Now I don't know if there's any more, but I think we kind of get the point, do we? Yeah.
Do you do the little mini compilation? Oh my gosh.
That's a good point, Ben. I don't want to be this guy.
They trade off.
I don't want to be this guy, but you notice how every single one of those videos included a woman ref.
It's not.
I'm not gonna open that can of worms. It was just an observation.
No, you opened that bit.
It was just an observation. Hold on, time out. It was just an observation. It was just a fucking observation.
I will say this for everybody watching this: we do not condone. If you're going to cancel anybody, don't cancel the show. Just cancel that guy. You know.
Okay. All right.
It's a great observation. However, it's not just
nothing. It has nothing to do with it. It was just.
I got one or two more for Coach. I think.
Let me see this.
We have more for Damien too.
Averaging 12.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, leading the league at 2.7 blocks.
You gotta leave. Fucking.
What?
Come on, he's passing the ball to himself. Like
Tech.
Throw him out. God. How bad.
That's crazy.
Flag.
How dare him do flag. Flag on the play.
Coach, is the Chris Paul one the tech too? Is that
I believe so. So.
Did you send the
I think
Embiid
it's just a foul. I think his is just a foul, and it's just like, where's the foul?
For Brooklyn, the win in Milwaukee last night. Foul called on Paul.
Play it again. Where's the foul? Where's the foul?
Brooklyn, the win in Milwaukee last night. Foul called on Paul.
I know what happened.
I think it was a push-off on Drummond. Is it Drummond?
He was breathing on his neck.
He was playing basketball.
See, okay, that's a foul offense. I should have read the real book.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Did you send the Embiid one?
No.
That one was some bullshit too.
I
have two more. I think we have two more for you, right?
Shit.
You have. Which one do you want to play next?
The mini compilation, not the Lakers one.
Is that with? I only have two more, and it's neither one of them are long.
It shouldn't be that long.
Okay, let me see. Well, that's a game winner. No.
Oh no. Well, you could play the Lakers one then, if you have that one.
My man brought the whole camera. Like, look at it. Look.
Lakers lost that game in overtime. LeBron was clearly fouled on the game-winning layup.
And they didn't call it.
what the fuck happened? That referee, he's not in the NBA anymore.
Really?
Yep. And guess where that referee's an alumni from? Mainland High School.
No way. Maitland High School?
Damn, that's crazy.
Why all these famous people come out of Maitland High School out of all schools?
They have his refereeing shirt up hanging in their lobby.
No way.
So I think so. With all
agree.
that being said, right? All that being said, looking at all these videos and looking at all this stuff, the NBA has gotten so soft. It's just gotten so soft. There's no more physicality. It used to be one of the top tier physical sports because if you're in the paint, I mean, if you're in the paint and you're doing all this stuff and you're pushing, you're backing down a man and you're doing that, and there is no breaks. It's back and forth on the court. Now it's gotten to the point where if you drive to the lane, you're getting fouled. You're going to get a foul.
Is it controversial to say that maybe the refs are the reason that the league is soft? Because it makes you, as a player, it makes you not want to play defense. It makes you not want to be as physical because you're just going to get called for it anyway. So why would you do it?
I wouldn't say necessarily that it's the referee's fault. I think it's the players complaining. It comes down to that. You got the superstars that are going to cry and whine. Man, I'm getting hit every time I go to the rim. Why aren't you calling any fouls? You got people complaining and crying. You got those players, leagues that want to preserve players and make them last longer. And da-da-da-da. I'm all for that. Good for you. But this is what ends up happening. Referees don't want to be the blame that LeBron James is injured for 6-7 weeks because the game's too rough or whatever. That's the way I kind of look at it. And I mean, it could be completely crazy, but if we're throwing out conspiracies on it, that's what I would, not conspiracies, but our own take on it. That would be my take. I think they're calling the game the way that how players have been wanting to have it called.
Honestly, some of the aging stars, I would say LeBron, Curry, Kevin Durant, they don't get the same whistle that they did when they were younger. Like they used to get a lot of whistles.
No,
now they don't. These guys, no, they do not. You see these guys get hit all the time, and there's no whistle. But then, like, say a Jason Tatum, like just in the clip that you've seen, these newer stars, they're getting those superstar whistles again.
I don't see it that way. I've watched I've watched a few games, and it's not just the Magic. I've watched a few games, and I still feel like it's still being called just as tough. I mean, just as soft as if it's a Jason Tatum or a LeBron James. That one clip showed one instance where LeBron gets fouled and they don't call it.
I watched the whole Denver and Lakers series 2 years ago, and it was nothing but blown calls. Yes, the Lakers were destined to lose. It wasn't going to change the outcome. But the amount of horrible missed calls is atrocious. It is so bad in the NBA. And the travel calls and calls like that, they're awful. One of the clips that I was going to send in was literally there's a video, and it's funny enough. This is actually
he shook him.
What I said.
The one where he shook the dude and then he walks backwards. Did you see that one?
That's facts, Brent. That's facts.
But I was gonna call out the fact that there's this one. It was in the playoffs. Kevin Durant literally runs out of bounds with the ball. He's like, there's like no way you miss this call. He throws it in, and they win because of that. Like, that is you're deciding games with these horrible calls. And I'm sorry, after the game, the next day, putting out the final 2-minute report and saying, "Oh, we fucked this up, we fucked this up, we fucked this up." It's just not enough, dude. You're literally throwing away games.
Yeah,
especially in the playoffs. You're costing a championship.
I think it was the Celtics-Houston game where I don't know the player. I just saw the clip briefly, but I thought it was funny. Crosses a dude falls, right? So it was a nasty shake, right? But he's in front of the 3-point line. At that point, he already has both hands on the ball, looks down, realizes that he's in front of the 3-point line, takes 2 micro steps back to get behind the 3-point line, and then shoots it. The entire sideline goes crazy. They're like, that's a fucking travel.
Happens
It doesn't
every
matter
time.
if it's micro steps or not. It's a step.
The step back is one of the worst called things in.
Wasn't
basketball.
even a step back, Damien. It wasn't. It wasn't even a step back. Like, homie goes like this, crosses him, looks down, and takes a step back, and then goes to shoot the ball. Yes, it was. Oh my! I gotta find the clip.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I should. My internet should be alright enough to play a video if you send it to me.
But yeah, I oh god,
Something needs to change.
we're gonna
Moral of
get
the story.
We're gonna get fined. We're gonna get fined by the NBA for talking about the referee.
Expect a $25,000 fine tomorrow.
If they send that in the mail, you might as well go ahead and lock me up, dog, because I ain't paying it. I ain't got that money. You can send me a $25 fine. I'm like, depends on the week. I might be able to pay that. Might not.
Right.
Like, fuck. 25K. I hope we get to a point one day where you can send me 25K fine. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Here you go.
That'd be great.
Right.
Not right now.
Hey, real quick, I'll do the honors for Coach. A quick scoreboard check. Magic are up in Detroit tonight. They're currently losing 5:10 to go in the second, 4 minutes to go in the second. 49-40 Pistons. The Wizards, out of all teams, are beating the Bulls halfway through the second right now, 38-32. Still early. Never know what happens. Miami hosting the Pelicans. We're going to talk about New Orleans. A lot of rough stuff going on down there. Here, winning 15-5 currently with 7:48 to go in the first. Knicks are currently hosting the Jazz. They're down 12-8, 6 minutes to go in the first. And the Brooklyn Nets are up in Toronto across the border. 5 minutes to go in the first. Nets are leading 18-14. And that is all we got going on right now. By the way, if you're hanging with us on your New Year's, we appreciate you hanging out here. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button on all of our pages. What's it?
You ain't said nothing, Damien. I guess you can't really see it. Can't really see it, but you see that up there?
What is that? Is that a LeBron
Irish
jersey?
Yeah, it's a LeBron jersey, man.
Oh my!
I found I was going through shit in that. I was like, hey, it's from high school. It's an Irish LeBron James jersey.
There you go.
Put it out for the show.
You need to frame that. Put it on the wall.
Go ahead and sell that big.
Did you find it, Coach?
All right.
Hey, while Coach is sending that over, make sure you're hitting that like button on all of our pages. Make sure you're following all of our pages. We're live tonight on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It doesn't just take us to make this page possible. It's all of you on the community. We appreciate you guys interacting and hanging out with us. So hope you had a happy holiday, happy New Year, wherever you're celebrating from. And yeah.
So, found the clip.
Yeah, never sell it.
Facts. That's a gem right there.
Here we go.
Get that bitch sold. I mean, signed and sold. What?
What the
fuck? He stopped and thought about it. He stopped and thought about it for
4
a second.
5.
Hold a second. No, he stepped again to get behind the 3-point line.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5.
I
6,
believe
7.
this step back is legal off the the dribble. No,
that's a travel.
There's still a third step on that.
There's
on
two
even
step backs right there, and then my bad. And then he sets, looks down, and then backs his foot up.
That was like 6
That's what I'm
steps.
saying.
Ruff's just sitting there. He's looking down at his feet. Like, he's looking at his feet.
He
Insane.
really did.
Like, what?
He
The ref is literally just looking at his feet.
You know what? Next episode, I'm bringing back my blind ref costume from Halloween.
Yeah. All right, let's bump over. Let's bump over to Orlando Magic. I'm gonna have to leave here soon. Let's bump over to Orlando Magic. Gotta cover my boys, man. Let's take a dive into it. Well, what can we say about the Orlando Magic, boys? What can we say that hasn't been said? And unfortunately, right now, like we said earlier, they're fourth on the Eastern side, and they should be so much higher.
Right.
The ball they were playing was insane. And then all of a sudden, boom, Paolo's down. Boom, Franz Wagner's down. Boom, Mo Wagner down. Boom, Suggs hurts his wrist, but he's able to come back and play. Now, if you look at the lineup, Anthony Black is down. So you're talking about 4 of the star players on the Orlando Magic are down, and they're still fucking winning games.
Did Jalen Suggs come back tonight?
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah, he's back tonight.
Yeah, he's back tonight. He's not on the injury report for tonight.
Thank God. That's the last thing. That's the last thing this team needs.
We got an update on Paolo. We did.
Thank God.
This is the verbiage that they used.
Gotta love the verbiage here.
He has entered the return to competition reconditioning phase of recovery.
Yep.
Okay.
E, do you know what that means?
What does it mean?
He's back to practicing to get back on the court. He's getting his stamina back up and running and shit.
He's doing more than just shooting.
He's running and shit.
He's taking light contact.
And no, it's right here. I was literally about to read the Orlando Magic injuries. It says Banchero in oblique was able to go through some light contact work at Tuesday's practice. Jason something of the Orlando Sentinel reports. Look at that. How about that? Light contact.
Of nothing.
So what, like blowing on him?
I guess.
Like contact.
I don't know. Obviously, Mo Wagner, he suffers a season-ending torn ACL. He's gone. So that sucks because Mo and Franz were kind of a little dynamic duo themselves. So that's a hurtful thing because that was, I think, arguably our better center. I'm not a fan of Isaac. He hasn't been performing. He needs to do something.
My sister went to the Nets game. I think it was the 29th. And she actually commented on how Jonathan Isaac didn't look like that great of a player.
No, he doesn't. And we paid him decent money. And then you got Franz Wagner with the same injury. Obviously, the right oblique is torn. And we won't find out anything for another 4 weeks, is what the report literally says.
Probably 3 months.
Right. Yeah, probably. Because in 4 weeks, it's going to say, yeah, he tore his right oblique. No, thank you. Appreciate that.
In February, he's taking light contact.
Right. So it says Wagner's right oblique. Wagner's oblique tore his right oblique. It literally says this. Wagner oblique tore his right oblique during Friday's 102-94 loss to the 76ers and will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. That's what it says. Thank you, NFL. NBA, sorry. They have to do something. I think, honestly, now that I'm getting more invested into basketball, and I know I said this before, they have to do something better than the bullshit that they're giving us.
Right.
These reports suck. I'm telling you right now, in fantasy football, I'm going to pull it up. Bear with me a second here. I'm pulling this up. If I go to fantasy football, for football, right? Boom. I can click this. Hopefully one of my guys is hurt. Jeez, I didn't mean it like that. But
damn, bro.
Kittle,
Jesus Christ.
Kittle is questionable, right? You pull this up,
and it literally will tell you everything about if you
look at the
every little specific thing.
Yes. Everything. It says Kittle won't practice Wednesday due to his ankle and hamstring. Nick something, and then Kittle has missed 2 games this season with health concerns and this is what the fucking thing says.
It's like a memoir from his doctors.
It's seriously, but it's great because I know what to expect. I know how long to miss him. Not, hey, in 4 weeks we'll see this guy later. Huh? It's crazy. But nevertheless, shout out to the head coach over there with the Orlando Magic, man. I mean, Damian, what else could the guy do at this point?
Well, I mean, if we're giving shout outs, I also want to shout out Cole Anthony, man. Cole Anthony's, I mean, the stats don't say it enough, but like when it's his time to go, he's going. Gotta love it. He hit the game winner over the Nets. And then he had a 35-point game a couple of games ago. And it's just like, I like this Magic team. I like that they all step up for each other and they're continuing to fight despite these injuries. They're fighting. They're still beating great teams. And they're putting up a fight against other great teams, so can't be mad at it.
I say they beat the Celtics last week.
Yeah,
I do have a clip labeled Cole Anthony game winner. Did you send one of those in?
I did want to.
Play that, please.
It comes into Cole Anthony. Anthony on the attack. Anthony turns the corner off the glass. He banked it in. Do you believe in miracles?
What a shot, dude.
When you know you're the guy that has to make that tough play, I'm glad that he stepped up to that. So,
yeah.
Good job, Cole.
Mosley, the head coach, he's entering his 4th year with the Magic. You can kind of finally see what he's brought to the table, man. He's been able to build something for this team, and you can see, man, it's like next man up. Like you want to talk about next man up, there's nobody better right now than I think the Orlando Magic and Mosley's team. This guy's got guys that are playing that you probably haven't even heard of. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got guys doing all this crazy stuff, man. So I want to give a huge shout out to the head coach, man. He is coaching his absolute ass off, and it's hard because you don't have your players. People be like, oh, you shouldn't have to. No, you do. You have to have those star players, and you have to account for those star players. And it is very difficult to play without. Very difficult. Now, let's not mention your number 1 star player out. Your number 2 star player is out. Your number 3 star player is out. And then you got Cole Anthony. He's missing this game. I wouldn't call him a star player, but he's been playing pretty decent. He's injured. What else?
Jalen Suggs. I mean, the wrist, like, yeah, it was just for the remainder of the game, but it could have went so much worse.
Right.
There's definitely some bad vibe in the air when it comes to injuries, and it's trying to take them down. But they're sticking to the game plan and still doing it.
So yeah, definitely. So shout out to our boys, man. Our Orlando Magic, man. We appreciate y'all. Orlando Magic fans, we appreciate y'all as well. I mean, it's been a little bit of a painful season, and for us to be up here where we are still, I couldn't be prouder at the number 4 spot with all these injuries. If we're healthy, unfortunately, we won't get Mo back by the end of the season. But with a healthy team, look out for us to make a nice little run in the playoffs and at least fight and make somebody have to really fight us in the playoffs.
True. I agree.
So
if we're all done with the Magic, I would like to say one final thing about basketball.
Of course.
Happy birthday to the GOAT, LeBron James. He's 40,000 years old, and he's still playing basketball. It's wonderful, man. What an honor. What are you guys drinking? You guys okay?
You're just cupping LeBron's balls.
Hey, man, you guys celebrate greatness while it's here. Nobody cares.
Matt's laggy laugh is great.
Yeah, that was great. The lag laugh was insane. Who are the top announcers in basketball, would you say, Damien?
Top announcers, Mike Breen. That's about it. I do like the one for the Hornets. I forget his name. He's so fucking annoying. He is so annoying. I can't stand him. Yeah, Mike Breen. Mike Breen calling a game is pretty much exactly what you want to hear.
Since you're talking about LeBron, do you want to play the clip you sent in for that?
What did I send? I guess so. I don't remember what it said.
I think you said it. It could have been somebody else.
Maybe it was.
What?
It could have been Saul.
But they're going to get lucky. LeBron, wow. A huge three. LeBron out.
Yeah, I don't know who sent it. I just added it.
I don't know, but look at my glorious king.
My glorious king.
He's 40. They lost.
My glorious king, though.
Also,
I'm
his
putting
son,
that on a shirt. I'm gonna make that. Put it on a shirt and send it to you, and you gotta wear it on the show.
I would wear it, but that's a horrible thing. His son just got just signed.
I saw he's been stepping it up finally. Bronny's actually been stepping up in the G League and shit. He's actually been balling out a little bit.
Yeah, Bronny's been balling.
He's finally starting to show something. I've seen a lot of clips pop up. And I tell you what though, I do like watching LaMelo clips. That kid can ball. I do like watching him play.
Yeah, he can ball.
Speaking of, do you have that clip? Please play it.
Yeah, I always have it.
That one has to stay.
One more question for you. Uh-oh. What is your biggest turn on?
Patrick Mahomes. Have you been reading my Twitter, I think?
Oh, it's not going anywhere. It's saved into
forever stay. That was for you, Brent. That was for you.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Bryce James, who just signed with Arizona.
Ooh, yeah.
So another LeBron James.
Of course, the moment I come back, you're playing that fucking clip.
It's such a good clip, though.
I'm sick of this fucking trash internet.
I think that wraps up our NBA.
I do have one more NBA clip.
Oh, we do? Which one is
I have one more. I have one more.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I've been terrible. But I made it when it was needed.
You seem pretty popular among your teammates. How's that?
I don't like my teammates one bit. They really annoy the hell out of me.
What?
Yes, sir.
Cat is the zestiest superstar of all time. I love him. He's great. He's fantastic. But Jesus,
look up
pass by and say yes, sir.
Play it one more time. Play it one more time.
He's definitely that guy.
Oh, damn it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
He said, I don't even like my teammates. They all annoy me.
controversially, I don't think he's lying. I think he's telling the truth.
He had a straight face. He wasn't even smirking.
But the Knicks are great. Shout out to the Knicks. The Knicks and the Magic.
Oh man,
two teams I'd love to see.
I like to see him in the play. I like to see him in the playoffs.
I think they'll.
How's your mom?
Well, they might not play each other, but I hope they do. That'd be a really fun series to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that wraps up our NBA segment.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Damien, it's always a pleasure to have you.
It is a pleasure to be here, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
First show of 2025. Oh, God.
Hopefully one of many more.
1 year closer to 30 for me. Oh, Lord. Just put me in the casket now.
Hey, yo. That's crazy.
I'm just kidding. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for always chatting basketball with me.
Hey, brother. Happy New Year's.
Man.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Good to have you next week.
Bye, Damien.
LeBron James, the glorious.
Bye, Damien. Goodbye, Damien.
Damn. Golly. All right.
Well, I thought on his way out, he was like,
nice exit for sure. Coach, you heading out? You gonna hang out for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm about to leave. She's my wife just walked in the door. I gotta go. We gotta go take care of a family kind of emergency here. So I appreciate everybody, man. Hey, shout out to the Ravens, man. The Ravens played great. I know there's a quick little thing, man. Ravens did a really good job. They put belt to ass on the Houston Texans. I think it's worse to score only 2 fucking points in a game than get skunked. That's fucking bad. That just shows that your team is that bad. Shout out to the freaking Falcons, man. Falcons played an amazing game. Even though we lost, I get it, but the future is bright with Penix, man. I like what I saw from him. He controlled the game. He did his thing. Obviously, that is a hell of a tough team to first start out against. A tough defensive team. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm usually here the whole time. I just, unfortunately, shit happens. And
Can I pick your brain real quick before you go?
What's up?
How do you think this weekend's going to go for the Ravens? Do you think the Ravens you got it easy in the back? It's pretty much winning. They got the division, right? Or they need the Steelers to definitely lose?
I think we win and we're in. We win and we're in, even if the Steelers win, because we're up a game on them.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting. Like, there's some stuff I wanted to cover. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Saquon Barkley is not going to be playing against the Giants.
That was something I was going to bring up. That's fucking crazy.
Insane. So he's going to lose that. Mike Evans and his boy Baker Mayfield are trying to do the 11th straight season of 1,000 yards. So that's kind of crazy. There's a couple things. There's a couple things there, man. But Penix played great. He was there. Hell,
Rahul went to the game. He was at the game. So
that must have been awesome, man. Dude, I'm excited for the future of the Falcons. And then not for nothing. I'm excited watching the Ravens play, right? And seeing what they did and how they did it. Y'all stay tuned, man. Playoffs is
next week. It's gonna be a good episode next week.
Here's the thing: you can tell we're all fresh still. That ass whooping we just gave to the Houston Texans, and you can kind of you just need to win the game against the Browns. You don't need to do nothing crazy.
Yeah. So if you guys win the division, if you beat the Browns, if you guys lose, then the Steelers have to lose or tie to the Bengals for y'all to win.
Right.
There's still a chance, regardless, for y'all to win.
And the Steelers are on a 3-game losing streak, by the way.
Yeah, and the Bengals are going to be playing. The Bengals will be playing their hearts out because they're trying to get that last spot. But they have a lot needs to happen for them.
Yeah. So. Man, just so much good shit. All right,
I know.
Boys, I gotta go. But
hey, if you can phone in or hop in, be more than welcome to. I know you got some stuff to take care of.
I'll be in the ER. There's not a lot of good service there. And it'll be kind of awkward me trying to talk to y'all. Somebody next to me fucked up.
Right. Brent says the best case scenario for the Ravens would be the 5th seed. I believe they'll get the 3rd if they win the division.
Is the best case scenario for the Ravens to be the 5th seed?
He's asking, is it?
If we lose or if we win? If we win, I think we're 3rd, I thought.
Well, what he's saying is would it be the best thing for the Ravens to get the 5th seed? I think he's talking about as far as like matchup wise, but I don't know who they would be going against.
So let's take a look at it. Currently we have, let's see. 4th seed is going to be Houston, so it'd be just a rematch of last week. So Houston's in that 4th seed. They're locked in the 4th seed. They're not going anywhere. So I mean that's definitely not out of the question. If the Ravens were to win and they win the division, they would be locked in the 3 seed, and they would be hosting the Chargers. Looks like so. Another horrible rematch of a horrible, so actually wouldn't be too bad of a matchup.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, two horribles in 1 year. That would be pretty cool.
The horrible, yeah.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. Coach, all the best. Hoping and praying for you and your family. Hope everything is okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, y'all. It happens. But I'll try and watch some of it at least. So
for sure, if you want to in the comments. So yeah, we'll see. We'll catch you next week. We'll have definitely a lot to talk about coming to playoffs.
All right, boys. Peace out.
Yes, sir, Coach. Appreciate you. All right, then there were
just
two.
Us, man.
Yeah. Ben was texting me, say if you want asking to hop in. So if you want to let him in.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I was actually going to mention that.
Yeah. So
Is it somebody else?
yeah. So let me share it real quick. In the meantime, for those of y'all just hanging with us on your New Year's Day, we appreciate you. Hope you had a happy New Year's, happy holidays. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you're following all of our pages. We're on pretty much every social media channel. Tonight we're live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. We appreciate all y'all's interaction. Doesn't take just us to make this page possible. It's all you in the community. So we appreciate you guys. Real quick, I'm gonna hop into college football next. I'm gonna share this link with Ben real quick, but in the meantime, you want to start up you want to hit college football? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is currently college playoff time. What's it?
Not gonna lie to you, the only game that I watched or know anything about is the Penn State game. Other than that, it's all you, my guy.
Yeah, it's all good. I didn't get to watch that much. I'll be honest with you too. All these bowl games have just been trash. Like Brent said earlier, just all these bowl games have just been trash. I said it before. I think these bowl games are just kind of a way for the fans to see their team play one more time, travel to a cool city. Obviously, if you're coming from Florida going up north, it's not necessarily that cool because they're going to be colder.
Seniors to play their last game.
Exactly.
Get a chance
for Yep, exactly. So, but on the other side, you got players who are potentially entering the transfer portal, who are declaring for the draft. They're not necessarily playing. So it kind of just goes both ways at the end of the day. Quick update on the Rose Bowl. Looks like Ohio State's running away with it. Oregon is not done yet. There's 5:17 left in the fourth quarter. Ohio State is up 41-21. Getting their revenge.
Did not expect that, bro.
No one expected that. I think
I thought Oregon was going to go all the way. Honestly.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's getting their revenge on Oregon from back in October, winning on that.
That's crazy, bro.
Yes, indeed. So, and if you look at the game, Ohio State fans, they traveled really well.
What's up, you guys?
Oh, you got the whole set too.
Yeah, I finally moved in. I'm still getting stuff together and everything. So
how'd the move go?
But it's been good so far. It was a little shaky at first, just because the apartment wasn't cleaned, so I had to get cleaning people to come in. Took a few days for it to get ready. It was just it looked like nobody had lived here for at least a year. So
I gotcha.
But it's nice to finally be in. So
Good stuff. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you guys.
No more driver's seat talk.
No more driver's seat. No more iPhone.
That's right.
I mean, I can, but I'm probably not.
You have that nice. You have that. Where'd you get that microphone from? Huh? It looks nice.
This microphone? Oh, I believe that it was somebody named. I think it goes by Matt.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yes. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I got you, bro. Yes, the quality's great. You sound great, by the way. So
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
a little bit of echo in here, but it's all good.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Get the furniture ready to roll. So
Brett says my boss is an insufferable Ohio State fan. Oh man, Brett lost $50 today.
I have so many coworkers that are all from Ohio. I probably have at least maybe 10 or 15 that I know that are in my office in downtown Tampa. And all I hear is either Bengals or Ohio State.
Yeah,
that's about it. Whenever Ohio State fans lose, they pout. They pout big time. And it comes to a point where it's like, okay, shut up.
Yeah. Absolutely. For guys who just joined us, if you don't know, this is my boy Ben. Ben is a Tampa faithful fan here.
Yes,
You want to talk a little bit about yourself real quick?
Yeah. So I am born and raised in Tampa. I have I went to Jesuit high school in Tampa, and my favorite teams are the Bucks, Lightning, Rays, Rowdies, everything Tampa related. The only team that I don't really have an NBA team. I've been following the 76ers since college,
Okay,
but
okay.
really, I mean, for me, everything is either for college, it's literally USF football only, sometimes basketball, and then FGCU, which is wings up, baby.
Wings up. That's right.
Oh,
You got a true Florida boy right here, guys. True Florida boy. Absolutely. No, we'll talk about let's go into let's talk really just focus on the college playoff. We'll throw back to yesterday. We had the number 6 and number 3 seed. Penn State took over Boise State pretty much 31-14. Are we really surprised by this performance by Penn State, or was Boise State just overrated?
So I don't think Boise State was overrated at all.
Okay.
I really
Coach was saying before that, yeah, he thought that Boise State was overrated.
Yeah, I think that they actually earned their way in just because of the play of Ashton Jeanty. The issue is, though, with Boise State playing in the Mountain West, there's not really too much hardline competition that was going to be in the Mountain West. You have to schedule out. They played really well at Oregon, and I think the committee saw that with how they performed against a team like Oregon earlier in the year. It's really just comes down to it really came down to, okay, who has a loss, who doesn't have a loss, and they just see it that way.
For sure. E, I know you mentioned earlier you watched the game yesterday.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy how Penn State shut down Jeanty. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I think they had to
but when you're kind
first half,
yeah, when you are so single dimensional where everything runs through him, it's all they had to do is make a game plan to shut him down, and that's what they did. And Penn State can do that.
Now, I'm surprised that Boise State was not praised for their ability to actually pass and throw the football down the field, because they were able to make some good plays and move the ball down the field efficiently in their passing game, because Penn State was going after Ashton Jeanty the whole night and just.
I mean, you could argue. Someone could argue that Maddox Madsen played a little bit better than Drew Aller. He kind of played a little bit dirty ball. Maddox he went 25 for 35, 304 yards, a passing touchdown, but 3 interceptions. So that 3 interceptions is kind of where we draw the line there.
Interceptions in really bad time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Horrible timing on that interception.
Yeah. It was momentum shifts, and then that's just you can't do that in the playoffs.
Exactly.
No, you can't, especially with that last pick as well too.
Yeah, it took kind of to seal a game. John T, speaking of, he carried the ball 30 times. He had 104 yards. He ended up having 104 yards. He had a really rough first half, as we mentioned. So, I think that was just Penn State's,
39 yards. Yeah, 39 yards at halftime.
See, that's just. I think Penn State just couldn't really good playing
holes.
Right. Exactly. On Penn State side, Drew Aller went 13 for 25, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns, but no interceptions. So it seems like he played more of a cleaner game, didn't have as many passing yards. It was more Katron Allen who carried the ball. He had 17 carries, 134 yards. And his buddy Nicholas Singleton, 12 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. 2 of those Aller touchdowns went to the Fiesta Bowl offensive player of the game, Tyler Warren. He had 6 catches, 63 yards, and 2 touchdown catches. So it's really just outstanding performance by Penn State. They will host the winner of the Sugar Bowl, which we'll get into in just a second. A very tragic story in New Orleans. They will play the winner of Georgia and Notre Dame, which is going to be held tomorrow. Let me see here. Nothing too much going on this afternoon. Actually, I take that back. We had a really exciting Peach Bowl game earlier this afternoon. Had number 5 Texas taking on Arizona State, who was ranked number 4. Texas takes the win in Georgia. They win a thriller in double overtime, 39-31. Kind of run down the stats real quick. E, I know you didn't get to catch too much of the game. Ben?
Yeah, I caught some of the game.
Okay.
I know that Arizona State had to crawl back in, and then I saw the entirety of overtime.
Yeah, definitely. I had it on. I woke up and just in time for overtime. We'll start with Arizona State. Sam Lavin, not sure how to pronounce his name. Didn't have a touchdown pass, but he did go 222 yards, 24 for 46. Absolutely, Brent. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. I think the main piece of that offense in Arizona State, Cam, do you know how do you pronounce his name? I'm going to butcher it. Scatterbo, yeah. Scatterbo. 30 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was mentioned during the game that he needed fluids because, he was like puking his guts out because he was just carrying that huge load for Arizona State. Cam is currently this is his senior year. So I don't know. We mentioned? I think we talked about it before. Is he declaring for the draft, or is he playing another? Okay, so so this is his final game.
No, I don't know about that. I just know we talked about him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think that he's gonna declare.
He's gonna declare. Yeah. He's putting this year. He really put up NFL worthy stats. So I think wherever he
really
goes,
did. The fact they had 30 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mind you, this is college football. And so the defenses are, I guess you could say, a little more lacking as far as being able to stop the run, stop the pass. Just because, these are kids practically in the they're basically semi-professionals now. So they're basically kids in the professional world. They're teaching themselves how to play the game. They're still learning. So I think that with Scatterbo putting up these numbers consistently, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a top 5 pick.
Well, here's some interesting stats about that game. It said that he actually became the only player in the FBS, FCS, or the NFL this century to record at least 100 rushing yards, 75 receiving yards, a passing touchdown, and a 2-point conversion in the same game. He truly did it all.
That's right.
He also became the first player in over 26 years to be named the offensive MVP of a game despite being on the losing team.
That's just how amazing. I totally missed that. He had 8 catches for 99 yards. He was basically that offense. He was the offense for Arizona State. So that's definitely gonna be a lost gem for them come next year. But yeah, I think he'll make a great asset in the NFL for sure.
I'm not sure. I can't find anything about whether or not he's declared or not. So I don't think he's announced it if he is.
Gotcha.
You know who I'm thinking should go after him, by the way? The New York Giants. I think he could be the next.
You think so? You think so?
Mm-hmm.
They have. Tyrone Tracy.
They're going to have to go after a quarterback.
They're going to need a quarterback because obviously Tommy DeVito isn't.
He'll be gone by the time he comes around.
Right. But they got Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy had a great rookie year. They have Devin Singletary to kind of mentor him as well. Devin Singletary's a good veteran running back in the league. So
yeah,
I think that if anything, they're going to need more of a quarterback, and I think they need to. They're obviously going to have to. They kind of just need pieces everywhere. I think they'll be okay at running back. They could probably use some more wide receivers to kind of assist Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, for sure. Going to the Texas side. Quentin Ewers, he was essentially the whole offense for Texas. 20 for 30, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Not much of a running game for them. Wisner was their highest running back, carrying 18 of the carries, 45 yards. It was really the wide receivers who did the damage. Matthew Golden, 7 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown. Gunnar Helm, 3 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown as well. So Quentin Ewers, I believe, he has another year on him, so he has not declared for the draft. So he will be with the Horns for one more season. I want to go. So with Texas's win, they will go play it in the Cotton Bowl next week in Dallas. So I want to bring up Brent's point from earlier. Do you think Texas? This is obviously open to everybody. Okay, Drac, we'll get to that. Good thing Coach is in here. Coach is
not MVP.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Texas goes to the Cotton Bowl, played at AT&T Stadium next week. Do you think Texas is that a home field advantage for them? And you can
absolutely.
If you're in the chat, you can chime in as well.
This is going to be a huge game. I think number one, I don't know why the Cotton Bowl Stadium lost the rights to the Cotton Bowl.
No,
I feel like if you're going to play your bowl, I feel like if you're going to play your own bowl game, it should be held in the name right stadium, just like the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Second, because Longhorn fans only have to travel, I think it's about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours from Austin.
No, Austin's it's probably
is it like an hour?
No, it's longer than that.
How far are we talking? Like 200 miles?
No, looking at a couple hours at least. And let me look it up real quick.
Shit, we're about to take that number 1
seed, baby. Oh, that's crazy.
No, he's just mad because the Bills are going to lose in the playoffs and not make it to the Super Bowl again. Again.
Nah, man. I think this is the year that we see Buffalo finally crack.
I don't want to. I don't want to just to hear the Bills Mafia cry. I just want to say
you heard it here.
Just because they are just the most sensitive fan base I've ever seen. Like that video where we talked about them the first time, I have never seen so many people flooded in our comments crying. Like, dog, we are 3 nobodies talking about football. Like, what the fuck are you worried about?
Right. Ben, to answer your question, 3-hour drive from Austin to AT&T Stadium.
3 hours. Okay.
3 hours. So I mean, it doesn't matter. It's in Texas. So
yeah.
E, what do you think? Does home field advantage kind of exist for this game next week?
I mean, I think so. I mean,
by the way,
hit points.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, it just went final in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State takes down Oregon, hands them their first loss of the season, 41-21. So Ohio State will play Texas in the Cotton Bowl next week. That's a great game.
That's gonna be a really good game.
That's gonna be a really great game. Ohio, like I said earlier, Ohio State fans they travel really well. Texas will obviously have the home field advantage. It seems to be the case, but yeah, overall, I think it's gonna be a great matchup next Friday, 7:30 Eastern. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll be a great game. Let's move on. Let's talk about this terrible tragedy that just happened in New Orleans. So, if you guys missed it today, around I think it was 3:15 a.m. this morning Eastern time. Brent says Allen for MVP. Tragedy in New Orleans, basically calling it a terrorist act. A gentleman took his truck and essentially ran it into down Bourbon Street. We have now confirmed, I think, 15 deaths and 30 were impacted. With that being said, I'm not going to get into the super duper details of it because obviously I'm not a news anchor. Obviously, the sugar roll is about to get started here in the next 10 minutes or so. They have announced that it is going to be moved to 4 p.m. tomorrow in the abundance of safety and caution and investigation, all the good stuff. But I mean, just what a terrible act.
Yeah, I don't care, dog. I don't care about MVP. We're not going to win the Super Bowl either. I'm not delusional.
Already
like
accepted
you are.
That, right?
Yeah, I'm not delusional.
But yeah, I will say, I have a friend that lives out in New Orleans. Shout out to my friend Jack. Long time good friend, grew up in the neighborhood here in Tampa. He was down on Bourbon Street when it happened,
Holy shit.
and it was chaotic last night.
Backtrack.
Absolutely chaotic. And to see people just do that, and take away the good time, it's what?
Sickening.
It's horrible. It's disgusting. Should never happen. I don't know why. Like, if you feel like that you have issues with somebody else or issues with certain things in the world, or if you feel like that, you're going to go crazy or whatever, get some help. Go talk to somebody. Yeah.
I don't know if you
thing.
And I don't know if you saw, so he was a 42-year-old man, previously served in the Army. And but yeah, he apparently, like, when he got out of the truck before he was shot down, he had some ice stuff all over him, and I guess he had some explosive with him. They say he had explosive with him. So just a crazy scene. Do you have any thoughts?
Honestly, I'm learning about it now. I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it till I'm the same way. I didn't hear about it till about like 3:00.
I heard about it this morning and immediately texted Jack just to check in on him.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that he was okay.
For sure. So, but obviously we can all agree that in the abundance of safety and caution, all that, it was necessary to push back the game of day.
Absolutely.
100%.
Definitely. Oh yeah. So rest aside, tomorrow we will have number 7 Notre Dame taking on number 2 Georgia. I think I said it last week. We didn't actually get to do predictions because obviously we took the week off last week. But I feel like this is going to be a Notre Dame upset. I'm not saying that just because I'm a kind of a Notre Dame fan, but I really think that the Notre Dame secondary is just disgusting. And with Carson Beck out for Georgia, they're starting a freshman quarterback. I think he's been thrown into kind of a ball pit pretty much.
Yeah, Notre Dame has a top 10 defense coming into this game. And I do not see Georgia overcoming that top 10 defense just because, Georgia played Alabama earlier this year and everybody was saying, oh, this could be a college football playoff preview. And it ended up not being that at all because Alabama just could not make it. They could not win the games that they had to win. And so with that, I mean, Georgia, they had a great season, but their offense, I don't think is strong enough. I think Notre Dame will win this in a squeaker. Currently, the line for this game is Notre Dame opens at it opened at 1.5. It's now at Notre Dame as the favorite by 1.
Yeah,
over
so
under
it's getting tight.
45.5.
Yeah,
it's a very tight matchup. I think that this comes down to maybe double, triple overtime.
Sure, it could absolutely be that. But yeah, it's just overall, I was looking forward to watch it tonight, but we'll definitely look forward to that tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Any thoughts on the matchup?
Honestly, I'm just looking to watch some good ball, man. I haven't really watched a ton from either side. Honestly, I haven't done a lot of stock into college football this year. Just been really focusing on the NFL and stuff like that, and obviously doing our content, man. It takes up a lot of my time.
Oh, it does. No, you're absolutely right.
But
yeah,
I mean, I try to keep it the best I can. I plan on next year really trying to dive into it really heavy and like really watch everything, but I don't have a ton of stock in a lot of the teams. I like watching good football. So I mean, anything that's just good, man. I guess I can't sit here and give you an honest opinion. I didn't watch too much of either team this year.
No, you're good. No, I'm totally good. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's just gonna be a great physical game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's gonna be very very emotional. Obviously, what happened today, but I think overall, it's just a great matchup. And as I mentioned before, the winner will go and play Penn State in the Orange Bowl or the Orange Bowl next Thursday.
I mean, it's exciting to see Penn State doing well. I mean, I obviously, like I said, I did get a chance to watch them, so that was fun to watch and fun to watch what they can do.
I'm happy that James Franklin is starting to get over the hump.
Yeah,
and actually,
I agree.
Have his players play really well, because the Big Ten is easily, and I mean this easily, the best conference for college football right now.
100%. And all you SEC people out there, you can you can shut.
I'm sorry, the SEC is not that good. I mean,
it's just money. It's just money. All the SEC is money.
Okay,
and that's why next year Maryland's going to win Big Ten. So I mean,
for everybody in the chat right now, if you didn't watch USF Alabama, you do not understand what the heck has gone into the SEC this year with all their problems.
Right.
Alabama took 3.5 quarters. We're talking till about maybe 7 minutes left. And it was probably like maybe a 3 or a 4 point game. And it only took it took all the way up until 7 minutes left for Alabama to start pouring it on. So you see a garbage time score for a team like South Florida that plays in the American Athletic Conference that, to be honest, is not that very good of a college football conference. Basketball, slightly different story. But anyways, whole point is the SEC has not really performed as hot as they have. And I think tomorrow night we're going to see that Georgia is going to be knocked out by Notre Dame. It's going to prove something. Texas, I would say, is an outlier. This is Texas's first year in the SEC, having come over from being in the Big 12 for a very long time since the Southwest Conference demise back in the, I believe it was the early 90s. But either way, I feel like that we're going to see it's going to be
Georgia go down
tomorrow night. Clock's ticking.
No. Yeah, clock's
ticking
sure.
on. It just means more clock's ticking because that's about to end.
Looking forward to it. All right. Like I said, all the bowl games have been really boring. I don't want to really run through any of them. Unless you guys have a specific one you guys want to run through.
The Hawaii Bowl.
That's right. How can I forget about the Hawaii Bowl?
Overtimes.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about that one.
Five
overtime. Yes, I stayed up and watched that one as well on Christmas Eve. Scroll down to it real quick. 5 overtimes. Your boys from USF take the dub. 41-39. Ben, take it away.
I'll tell you right now. I thought Bryce Archie. He's struggled throughout the entire season after having to take over. I think it was in the third quarter of that USF Miami game when our starting quarterback Byron Brown got injured, and Bryce, he's had to fight the whole season and just try to get the offense going, and they finally figured it out against a very tough San Jose State team that really, it ended up just being a defenseless game. It was literally just down to the very last possession. USF ultimately, you had to just make one more play in order to get that done. Bryce Archie was 24 for 35, 235 yards. He did throw a pick, did not have any touchdowns in particular as far as what is listed here, but I am going to double check that. Yeah, he did not throw for a touchdown. Very odd that nobody threw for a touchdown. All of our touchdowns were just simply on the run. Defensively, we had one interception that whole game. And we had one kick return for a touchdown.
Clean game overall.
Very clean. Very, very clean. Nothing really. Everybody struggled. But even during that struggle, you were
So
still going to have a high scoring game.
right. Something else I noticed as well. Usually it's held in the original Hawaii Bowl. But I know they played at I believe it's the University of Hawaii's athletic complex.
Yeah, so they had to
something like
play at the Clarence T.C. Ching Athletic Complex for, I believe, it's 2025 now. So it's been about 6 years since
6 years.
Aloha
Okay, so I'm
Stadium
obviously
has been
behind.
closed.
So you bugging.
Yeah, I'm tweaking.
Matt, how you gonna be on a podcast and not know your facts?
Yeah.
You cancel right.
It's been 5 to 6
Hell's
years
wrong
since
with you,
Aloha Stadium shut down. I went to Hawaii back in 2019, and I drove past Aloha Stadium, and it looks like it was going to fall just by how much rust there was in their support columns. So I know that Hawaii is currently working on a new stadium. It's not expected to open it until at least 2028, maybe 2029. It takes time just to get materials out there. It takes additional time for them to get it done.
Longer for anything.
They are working on it right now for them.
Especially out in Hawaii, it's hard to get products out there.
Who knows? We may see the Pro Bowl return.
I don't know. I kind of like it in Orlando.
Yeah,
I kind of like being like 25 minutes away from it.
Yeah.
You want to go, by the way?
Or they could just fucking get the old Pro Bowl back. Fuck all this little.
Yeah, I think they should go back.
I want to watch an actual game. That's
right. That's fucking stupid. We talked about
flag football.
Yeah. Sean, I know that Sean Taylor is rolling in his grave right now. Anytime that he watched the past 10, 12 Pro Bowls, it's disgusting. And now they got this flag football game that's going on.
Dodgeball and obstacle course. Come on, man.
Come on, make it about football. We don't care about this other crap.
Right.
I want football.
That honestly, I didn't even barely watch the Pro Bowl when it was actually good. Now I'm damn sure not watching it unless I go because y'all want me to go.
Come on, I told you.
I'm gonna have to go.
That
I'm
would
gonna
be
have
the
to
only
make the trip
fucking
over.
way I'm going. The only way I'm watching is if I'm there. If I'm not there, I'm not watching.
Yeah,
we gotta make it for. We gotta do it for content, bro.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
very
I
much.
will.
As far as on TV, I would say it's a little cheesy with the presentation. Just make it like a traditional game. Just get Al Michaels on there. Get Chris Collinsworth as well.
Okay.
Have them have a reunion. Have just a one reunion on NBC before Al Michaels.
We can hear him.
Patrick Mahomes. Play the video. Play it right now.
One more question for you. Uh-oh. What is your biggest turn on?
Patrick Mahomes. You've been reading my Twitter, I think.
Oh my God,
man! Come on, man!
Fuck out of here, Collinsworth. Oh my! And his son. I totally forgot that his son works on the crew as well, on the Sunday night crew.
Yeah.
Like goodness gracious! At least he's not as bad, but who knows?
Actually, you know who would be great for a father-son crew? Get Ian Eagle and Noah Eagle.
That's true.
On CBS.
That is true.
Have CBS do the Pro Bowl. That would be nasty.
Nah, I think ESPN, they'd have too much money in that. They threw too much money into that.
I mean, it's Disney. What do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, and fuck, you're right there close to Disney too, being in Orlando. So,
yeah,
absolutely. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that wraps it up for our college football talk. If you spend your New Year's with us, we appreciate you guys hanging out. Coach had to head out early, but we got Ben in here taking his spot. Ben, appreciate you hopping in last second.
Absolutely.
Did you want to play your clip and talk about your coach?
Yeah, I was transitioning to real quick. We're real quick going to talk about college basketball, and there's one thing to talk about, and we'll get into our bread and butter. If you want to play the clip real quick, I'll kind of fill everybody in.
All right. I'm exhausted. I've tried every which way to keep this going. And I know I'm going to be asked a lot of questions, but I want to answer them before I'm even asked. What shocked me beyond belief was after we made it to the Final Four just 18 months ago, the very first time I met with the players, 8 of them decided they were going to put their name in the portal and leave. I said, don't you like it yet? No, I love it. I love Miami. It's great. But the opportunity to make money someplace else created a situation that you have to begin to ask yourself as a coach, what is this all about?
That's crazy how that's literally ruining.
It is. And I was talking to my dad about this. You know, coaches like Mike Krzyzewski, Roy Williams, even Mike Few up in Gonzaga. I could see him definitely. I could see him stepping down because of this.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of talent go out the window.
We're going to see a lot of great coaches just step away, just like Jim Larinaga did. For those of you who don't know, Jim Larinaga did step down from the Miami basketball program late last week. He holds a place in my heart. He brought my George Mason Patriots to the Final Four back in 2006. Had an amazing tenure, George Mason. After the 2011 run, in March Madness, he decided to move on to Miami, where he's been there ever since. And the news broke last week that he wanted to step down, and rightfully so. You can rightfully understand why. He said in the beginning of his press conference, he's exhausted. He just can't deal with all this NIL stuff anymore. I wish Coach was here to kind of back me up on this NIL stuff, but it's too much for him at his age to handle anymore. And NIL is kind of
internet. Hold up. I don't
want to say they're necessarily taking over.
Nobody can hear you. You're like a word here and there.
But do my best I can to catch up. Give your thoughts on it. Give your 2 cents on it.
We didn't really hear a lot that you said because you're lagging really bad.
Yeah, your internet went down.
Yeah, really bad. I have no idea what you said.
Not really sure. I will say this about Larinaga stepping down.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, but your video is slowing.
I would just give it a second to try to catch back up. Go ahead and finish your point, Ben, and hopefully by then he'll be back.
So I'm thinking NIL needs to transition into, instead of having it be a free-for-all and there's like every month you get a certain time period, you need to have, I would say, probably up until like the first half of the season, you'd be allowed to switch. You'd be allowed to transfer at any time. If you want to transfer once, that's perfectly fine. You only get one transfer up until you only get one. I feel like that you should only get 1 or 2 transfers in your college career. I would say 2, because you could limit to just 1 during your freshman and sophomore year, and then 1 during your junior and senior year. So that way, that in case if you have issues with some programs, you're at least able to get 3 strikes to try to figure it out. The facts of the matter is there needs to be limits on the amount of money that needs to be made as well too, just because there's kids that are making thousands upon thousands of dollars, and it's their first time making this money. And we all know that college kids can be irresponsible with it. Obviously, things have changed to where now they have agents that can help assist with them in their money management. But I think that you need to limit it down to, I would just say, call it 20,000, 30,000 a year. Put limits on it, on the amount of money that you can make per year, because you want to have that separation between professional and semi-professional, if that's what college is going to be all about.
You're back now. I got a video for this.
Yeah.
I completely forgot, and I just remembered that I sent it to you. I'm gonna put it on here. Hold on. It's about the NIL. It's not. It's like what it's going to be like in the future of the NFL because of the NIL and the transfer portal and all that. Oh, I want, as soon as it's done process, I'm gonna play it
for sure. While it's pulling up as well, Miami wasn't really having that great of a season to begin with. It has nothing. Some might say it have to do with Coach Larinaga, but it has nothing to do with Coach L. Miami's 4-9 right now. They're dead last in the ACC with basketball. It's obviously season just started, but just really sad for see a guy like that go. He has two Final Fours on his resume, Final Four appearances. So it's just really sad. He's a great coach, just overall great guy. I met him when I was a little kid. That's something I'll always cherish and remember. But yeah, just overall, I think the NCAA is losing a great coach.
Here's this clip real quick. Here you go.
Alex Eric Kirkland, Miami and Ohio State. Jeffrey Jacobs, USC, Kyle, Oregon, back to USC. Brad Clorox, Penn State, Kansas State, Iowa State. Larry Jordan Lopez, Auburn. And I think I went to Ole Miss after that, and then I went to Texas to play baseball. No, it's the other way around. You said what? It was Texas for baseball first, then Ole Miss. Oh yeah, you're right. I went to Texas first to play baseball, then Ole Miss. Eric Jokic, Iowa, Louisville, Kentucky, go Buckeyes. Gregory McBook Pro, North Carolina State, Wake Forest, Virginia. DeAndre Bird was North Texas, Navy, South Alabama.
You get the point. But they have to list more than one college. You get the point.
My God. I remember I saw that too, and I was laughing.
Yep. I'm a little hyped.
Hey, we got a Twitch viewer.
Oh yeah, it's vibes.
It's disgusting
that's
with the
our guy.
amount.
True.
It's just disgusting with the amount of transfers that we see in college sports now, because players are getting like 6, 7, 8 years of eligibility.
Right?
Yeah, like limit the amount of eligibility. Put it at a max of 5 or 6 years. If you take longer than 6 years, I'm sorry, you're done. We'll honor your scholarship.
Right? You're not making.
You're not going to make it.
Making it.
You're not. If you're there 6 years, unless something crazy happens, you're not making it, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you can keep playing just to play football. I mean, I love football. I would have kept playing for free. I mean, whatever. But
right. But I lost my train of thought. But yeah, keep going, Ben.
Yeah. It's so sad because, like you said earlier with Larinaga, and how they're 4-9, and it's literally not on Larinaga. They went to the Final Four for the first time ever. And immediately after that, I think it was at least like maybe 60% of the roster or 70% of the roster transferred out, just because they were getting offered more money by third-party places
sad,
at other schools. It's so sad.
And the thing that makes it worse than the NFL and people chasing contracts is that they have a contract. You can't just leave. You can sit out. You can throw a fit. You can try to force your hand. But the ownership's like, yeah, fuck you. I'm not sending you nowhere. You got to just sit. They can do that. With college, they can just say, fuck it. I committed to y'all, but I could just leave. There's nothing saying I can't go. So it makes it 10 times worse. Because, what I mean? Like, and then what is the coach? Like, I can understand why he's exhausted. You can't prepare year over year and build players and build a roster based off of who you have, because you don't know if they're going to be there or not. Right. Unless you're a team that the NIL is high in your area, then of course, then you can be like, oh, I'm going to get somebody great.
I mean, what we're going to see is we're going to see everybody that's picking from FCS schools, like say, for example, like if it's in college football, say, for example, somebody from Stetson somehow happens to play lights out and they want to go play somewhere else at the FBS level. I mean, it's going to become slim pickings. Like you're going to just be picking from the bottom. It's kind of like, instead of trickle down, it's trickle up. You're going to see players like try to go to the higher level and then end up not making it. And then they're going to just transfer around until they figure it out. So, I mean, you have to set limits. If you're going to treat it, if you want to be treated like a professional, you have to have professional style rules to follow.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I like that take. It's just sad. Like, and it's crazy that Coach put out what you can find it on our YouTube page. We had the full length video there where he talked about the NIL deals getting into high school, but also what the impact on college. And this was at the very beginning of our podcast career, or whatever you want to call it. He came out our first episode talking about how much it's going to be bad for high school and college moving forward. And we're seeing how much it's impacting more and more each year. And like I said, he had a full clip about all of it and what it means to it, how it takes the innocence out of it, takes the purity out of the game. And it's crazy to see what he talked about. And you can see it, and it's getting worse.
It's absolutely just out of control on all fronts at this point.
It's pure chaos. It's pure chaos.
It's just chaos.
Pure chaos. So, all right. Well, that's the only thing I had for college basketball. As the NFL season kind of dwindles down, we'll start to hit college basketball a little bit more. And yeah, if you guys are spent,
here he goes.
My back. I don't know why he keeps doing this.
Yeah, it's kind of going in and out.
New Year's viewers with us, we appreciate y'all. Hit that like, that follow, and that share button. I'm pulling the Matt card right now. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys spending all your time with us. Thank you. And I think he froze, and his eyes are moving. His eyes are moving.
His eyes are there.
Go like this. Go
I
like
think
this.
he froze.
Go like this or like this. Oh, yeah.
Blink once for yes, blink two for no. Is bro in Starbucks?
I think he might be stealing their internet from the corner or something like that. I think that's what's happening.
I mean, I'm running a speed test right now just to make sure, I'm not having any issues just because I saw
it's not you. He
coming in. Yeah,
he was fine. We were sitting in the lobby waiting because we usually get in here like an hour early, just start talking bullshit and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he started lagging out right when we were supposed to go live, and then he came back on.
I'm gonna refer him to Verizon. I'm gonna give him.
We were a little bit behind because I had videos to upload, and then he was lagging out. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with his internet tonight.
I don't know.
There he is.
There he is.
This fucking retarded internet, bro. I cannot do this. I'm not trying to fuck around with this tonight.
Well, we got NFL, and that's it. I mean, so let's get into the NFL.
Yeah, let's hit the NFL.
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our NFL segment. Ever since we took our kind of week break off last week, not too much happened. There wasn't that too many exciting games. Kind of going back to this past week, 2 games on Christmas for the first time ever. We had 2 Wednesday games on the NFL. Nothing too exciting. Coach kind of already gave his piece. Ravens took the dub against the Texans, 31-2.
They beat the dog shit out the Texans.
Talk about some scoregami though. 31-2.
They bow. They did bow.
Belt to ass, right?
I mean, it was definitely a belt to ass kind of game. I don't know what the heck happened to the Houston Texans with their defense that game. Coming into that game, they were the highest scoring defense in the league as far as if you counted by fantasy football points because of how many takeaways, how many sacks they were getting, how many, their points allowed was definitely it's top 10 in the league. They're just it's mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing that they struggled that bad. And offensively, CJ Stroud just looked dead in the water. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't move the ball down the field. They couldn't complete any drives and score points.
Absolutely, yeah. They just had nothing going, and that'll definitely carry into the postseason because I don't think the Texans can't beat good teams. They can't beat. The only good team they've beaten is Buffalo. They got lucky against Buffalo.
Can't. I think partially is because they play in the weak AFC South.
Correct. No, yeah, that definitely has a lot to do with it.
I think we need another change in the divisions. I think we need another geographic realignment.
It's going to take a lot, though.
Within the next 5 years. Just to...
Do you think they'll actually do that, though?
No.
The NFL?
I think it will happen for at least another 10 years. I'll give it 10 years. It won't happen anytime soon.
I think they would.
Really?
Now, I only think it's going to happen if they expand. The question is, where do they expand? Not sure yet. I don't even think that's on the table at the moment. But
I think the division realignment needs to happen before they expand any teams.
Yeah, I think that they need to do realignment because it's getting old. Some of these divisions just struggling big time when they should not be. These are professional football players and professional organizations. We should not be seeing this kind of issue with a league like the NFL.
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Agreed, yep. I want to talk about the Chiefs Steelers real quick. Steelers lose to the Chiefs 29-10. Chiefs lock in the first number 1 seed in the AFC. Who fucking cares? Yep.
All right.
More importantly, what's happened to the Steelers? They're losers of 3 straight now. It seemed to be everything seemed to be going right, but these last 3 games, something doesn't seem right. They lost to the Chiefs. They dropped the game in Baltimore, and then they lost. They got blown out by the Eagles. So what's really what's gone wrong in Pittsburgh?
Russell Wilson is exposed.
Russell's he's starting to look like the Russ of last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's getting exposed, and they're going to get exposed in the playoffs. They're going to take a first-round exit.
You got
100%.
Russell with only 205 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, he didn't look good.
No,
he didn't look comfortable either, and it's not like the Chiefs' defense is stellar.
And the crazy thing is, Steelers' rush defense was great. I mean, if you look at the rushing yards for the Chiefs, they were ass. Kareem Hunt only had 20 yards. Pacheco only had 18. Mahomes had 12. Shit. Xavier Worthy had 10. So they had 69 total rushing yards. So the Steelers' rush defense was great, but Patrick Mahomes fucking threw for 320 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So, I mean, no sacks. He didn't get sacked once. For a Steelers defense that's supposed to be top tier, didn't even get to Patrick Mahomes once. That's crazy.
Yep. Absolutely.
Kelsey's returning to true form, and Xavier Worthy, I mean, he's balling right now. That was
time too.
Bulk of their passing is Kelsey and Worthy, 84 and 79. You had Justin Watson with 60, but I mean, majority of the reception count is all those two. So I don't know.
Yeah, so I think the Chiefs are clicking at the right time.
Unfortunately,
I just don't want them to, bro. Like, just lose first round. And you're not. Now you got to buy. I got to at least wait till week 2 to hopefully see you lose. Damn it.
Yep. Definitely crazy.
Playing around with the playoff machine right now, trying to figure out who the heck that they could play in the divisional.
Yeah. It looks like. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, anything could go wrong. Anything could go crazy in the wild card round.
We can pull up your graphic off of.
Yeah, you want to pull the graphic real quick?
Because we can talk through pictures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
You can talk.
So let's start with the AFC. So Chiefs have locked in pretty much. They're done. It's done in the AFC. They've locked in the number 1 seed. Bills will definitely be the number 2 seed. That is no doubt. The number 3 seed will be between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. So Baltimore will either get the 3 or the 5 seed. What are we thinking there, guys? Do we think Baltimore locks it up this weekend? They're easy. If they win, they got the AFC North.
if the Browns continue to play the way the Browns have been playing the last couple weeks, then they're going to take that dub.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that the Ravens lose this game against Cleveland.
Honestly, the Browns I understand that Winston is Winston, but he has their best chance of winning, regardless, because homeboy is not doing it for y'all.
Yeah, he's not the answer.
He's not it. Like Winston might throw picks, but he can also throw some explosive plays because, like Coach has talked about multiple times about Winston, he takes chances. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But the reason why they can win sometimes with him is because when they work, it's great.
Right.
But if you don't have him in there even trying,
I will say Winston is basically Brett Favre of today. He is Brett Favre of today because he's
a black Brett Favre.
Part of the issue as well is that Cleveland, they haven't been able to really run the football the whole year. So he's had to sling it the whole time.
Right,
so he's having to take
Chubb's
those
been
risks.
out.
Yeah, Chubb. With Chubb being out.
Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
With Chubb being out, I mean, it's going to be. I don't know if the Browns are going to have Chubb next year. I have a feeling.
No, and I agree with that, and I think they're at a low enough draft pick right now. They could actually probably get Jaunty if they wanted to.
Yeah. What I think the Browns need to do is they just need to make sure that their offensive line is beefed up, ready to go, which they performed decent, but they just do need another running back because I think Chubb is at the point where
he's broken. He's too broken to continue.
Is pretty much done.
Yeah. And Jerome Ford's not a starter.
He's just a Chubb. He's not the full thing right now.
Definitely, but yeah, I think so I think it might be Nick Chubb's time, but I could definitely see Ashton Jaunty going to Cleveland in the draft. Never know.
He would fit their running style because he is a lot like Chubb. Like Chubb in his earlier years, he's hard-nosed, aggressive. I'm gonna run through you rather than run around you.
Right.
He fits what Chubb was when he was in his prime. So, I mean, really, that's not – if they did do that, that wouldn't be a bad look for them because they would be getting what they had. But I would love to see Chubb find a way to turn it around because I used to love watching him run. I like those running backs that want to run through you rather than around you. You know what I mean? I've always liked that. That's why even though AP, he could run around you, but if you're in front of him, he's going to go through you. Like I remember him – going through people and stepping on chests. You know what I mean? Like I like that aggressive running. Now, granted, those aggressive runners don't last as long because they're wearing and tearing on their body. But if I had to pick what I want to watch that. And I think that's why he has such a good following and why he will do good in the draft because he's a hard-nosed runner, and that's what Cleveland already had. So I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why they wouldn't go after him.
Yeah, I mean, Ben mentioned it. I mean, Chubb's breaking down, so I think that's going to be a good kind of replacement for him, a franchise running back for his lifespan. And I mean, I think we talked about it last episode. Jaunty won't. He'll definitely be picked up top 10, no doubt.
We have to see the draft order right now.
Before we get back into the playoff picture, let's talk about this one I want to talk about as well in the current draft order.
Also, actually, before we get off of Browns, though, did y'all see that Deshaun Watson's willing to reconstruct his contract?
Well, that's good.
That's good. That's good to free up some space, depending on how he does it. But he said, he entered the conversation saying, "I'm willing to do that." That's huge for them because if I don't know about y'all, but like.
They need the cap space.
I have Madden. Y'all have Madden. I mean, I picked the Browns to see if and I had to get rid of his ass because he was taking up too much cap space.
Yeah,
cap space is crazy, bro.
Right.
I'm not surprised that it took this long because it's the Browns. Browns ownership and Browns front office really struggle.
He hasn't performed up to his contract.
Right.
No.
Yeah, no.
So he's probably got a lot of scrutiny.
Contract.
So it's very.
At the end of the day, you have to look like kind of like the Micah Parsons shit. Like you have to think, do I want to win or do I want to make money? Now, granted, everybody loves making money, but when you're in the league, there's so many other ways to make money. So why hurt your team if you could find a way to reconstruct, make less money, get more endorsements, get more sponsorships, whatever else, podcasts. Everybody's doing everything nowadays. There's ways to make money outside the game. So why hurt your team going for that's like as much as I love Jay Jets, like in 3 years, he's gonna be killing our team in cap space. Like his contract structured to be light on the front end, heavy on the back end. You're talking about $40-50 million. Some of these, like that's a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of fucking money
to your team. Why?
And his health isn't guaranteed either. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, but at the end of the day, it's like that's what as much as I hated and talked about like different things about Brady, he never sacrificed his team for his pockets, and that's respectable because you don't win without more people around you. It's like I don't understand these players that want to take these like Deshaun Watson should have known like that contract was fucking stupid.
It was dumb and I mean in the moment it made sense because they actually had a decent team at the time.
Yeah,
but it just didn't work. It didn't work. It's kind of just mudslid down ever since. So I think especially getting rid of Amari Cooper, who by the way is god awful. Where's my Bills Mafia? What's happened with Amari Cooper? This stellar wide receiver who, I mean, he's like a nobody now on Buffalo.
Just to add as well too, Cleveland currently has the 3rd pick in the draft.
Okay, so I mean that's
so
a perfect.
I mean, it depends on which route they want to go. I mean, they could easily take.
They could take Shador if they wanted to, but I mean Shador's probably gonna get picked up by who? Run me through the top 10.
All right, so for
New
top
England
10
first,
currently
right?
New England is currently number 1. Number 2 is the Tennessee Titans. Number 3 is the Cleveland Browns. Number 4 is currently the New York Giants. Number 5 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 6 is the Carolina Panthers. 7, the New York Jets. Number 8 is Las Vegas. Number 9, Chicago Bears. And with the 10th pick in the NFL draft currently, the New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans Saints. Yeah, I knew it was
it's
New
just
Orleans.
crazy to me. Like
the New Orleans Saints have been in cap hell for the past 5 years, and it's surprising.
They've been fucked.
They have absolutely.
You know what's sad? I learned more about cap issues from Madden.
Madden will do that. Madden will do. It will educate you very well.
That's my thing. Just for anybody that hasn't heard me talk about this before, I mean, I don't even know if I've talked about it on air. I know we've talked about it a lot in our groups and shit. Like with Madden, I take the worst teams in the game and I try to make them good. If not, it's fucking boring playing with good teams. It's just stupid. So I play a lot with the Browns and fucking whoever. So I picked New Orleans one time and I simulated the first season so I can do my draft and my free agent. I had negative 40,000 cap space the next year. I'm like, how the fuck?
Shit.
Dude, cap space was so bad. But it's weird. It's a video game, but it opens your eyes to certain captain, and that's why I said the Justin Jefferson thing. In 2 years, we're going to be fucking hurting.
Yeah,
we're not going to be able to keep people. So it's it just gets back to why do players do that to their teams? That's so fucking selfish. It's crazy. It's do you want to win or do you want to make your bag?
So the problem I think as well too is that owners and general managers, put way too much pressure on trying to win now. And in this league, winning now comes with a huge price tag.
Mm-hmm.
So take the Bucs, for example. Back in 2020, when we signed Tom Brady immediately put us in a futuristic cap hell because he wanted to get paid. We had the cap space just because we let Jameis Winston go. We were currently working on the free agent market. We had plenty of cap space, but ultimately what Tom did was that he basically just rolled some of his cap space into future years. That way that he could make a little bit of money now, but also free up cap space. That way that they could be consistent winners for the next 3 years until he retired. Once he retired, then immediately we started to see some cap constraints just because it's dead money that you're having to burn through. But a lot of teams, for whatever reason, they're so focused on winning now, they don't think about, like, having their players take a pay cut or having them, like, defer some money to the future. It's that way that, you may go through cap hell, but it won't be forever. Yep. It's absolutely ridiculous that, the New Orleans Saints, they've had, let's go through it real quick. They've had Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, which, by the way, bye-bye, Michael Thomas.
Marcus Lattimore.
Marcus Lattimore, excuse me. I don't know why I said Marshawn. Marshawn Lattimore. They've had a bunch of good players.
Cam Jordan.
That they've signed ridiculous contracts. Yeah, Cam Jordan. They've signed ridiculous contracts too. But they, for whatever reason, they tried to put too much on deferred money when they should have probably paid them a little bit extra. Takes, not necessarily tank their season, but perform maybe a little bit less. That way that they could have possibly a better draft pick, save their draft picks. That way that, they could potentially trade for free agents in order to win now, or just build with really good rookies through the draft.
Yeah, I think they kind of shafted. This is a year that they really shafted themselves.
Yeah.
You kind of saw it last season. You kind of saw it last season as well, but this is really the season where you saw it.
Yeah.
E, what were you gonna say, E? Oh, okay. But yeah, so yeah, going back to I think Jonty definitely could fit in. I mean, if Cleveland holds number 3, they could definitely do that because Tennessee, they have Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. I mean,
they're gonna go for a quarterback. They're in a quarterback crisis.
Yeah, so they'll probably get.
I mean, they've already didn't they play Rudolph recently?
They had Mason Rudolph and Will Levis.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm saying like they're in a quarterback crisis, so they're going to try to go for a quarterback.
Could you see Matt Ryan or not Matt Ryan? Kirk Cousins going there. Matt Ryan. Where'd the fuck did that come from?
You might as well say
Kirk Cousins.
But I mean, I don't know where he's going to go. He's going somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yeah, he's definitely getting. He'll have a job next year. And I mean, obviously, coach. If for those of you guys just joining us, coach had to step out early tonight. He had some family ordeals to deal with. But yeah, he was. Kirk is definitely going to not be on the Falcons next year.
I'm just saying, I warned Coach. Coach didn't want to listen to me. He wanted to be on the early season Kirk hype train. And I warned Coach. And he said, "Oh, man, he's playing lights out." I'm like, but that's what Kirk does. And then Kirk back gets the Kirky things. He's a great guy, but he's not your franchise quarterback. I'm sorry. He's just not it.
Yeah.
He's not it.
He's already been there. He's already been there, done that. He's now just a short-term guy.
I do have the bottom 6 teams in 2025 cap space currently. This does not account for any players that we know are not going to be back next year. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Kirk Cousins. The bottom 6, we're starting with the very bottom. The New Orleans Saints are negative $63 million in the cap next year.
I tried to tell you,
it's disgusting.
Madden, baby.
Absolutely disgusting. The next team is the Cleveland Browns with negative $17 million.
Okay, so I mean that's a huge gap. Hold on, time out. That's a huge gap. What was it? 63.
63 million to
and 17
million.
That's terrible. That is awful.
It's awful. Seahawks are going to be $8 million over the cap.
Okay,
Dolphins are going to be they're going to have cap space, but effectively, their effective cap space is going to be $12 million.
Okay. So if go to the rest of the list, I want to come back to that.
And then Falcons is going to be, it's currently $5 million under the cap, but they're going to be effective cap space for next year is they're over by $9.3 million.
Okay, so over $9 million.
Yeah. And then the Bills, they're only going to have $84,642 in effective cap space out of an actual $9,141,000 cap that they're going to have.
So, I mean, you got to think everybody keeps talking about the supporting cast around Allen. They can't do anything.
No.
They're gonna have to draft effectively.
Well, and they have to take what they can get.
Mm-hmm.
They will.
I mean, we keep talking. We say it week after week after week. Josh Allen does not have good receivers to throw to.
Mm-mm.
He just doesn't. Amari Cooper, okay, yeah, he was good. He was pretty good when we got traded, but now he's ass.
He's good when he wants to be. I feel
right.
Like he's
not consistent.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not
Coleman,
consistent.
as much as everybody loves his personality and how much of electric personality he is, he translates 50-50 on the field. He didn't live up to the hype that he had.
Right.
I want to talk shit about Allen as much as I want because of the Bills Mafia fans. But I mean, honestly, if I'm gonna say he doesn't have anybody to throw to this year, and he's been making it work, so I give him props, dude. I mean, the man, I have it pulled up here. He's got 3,700 yards. He's got fucking 28 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. I mean, he's balling.
He's not going to win MVP though. We'll get to that. We'll get to that here shortly. He's not winning MVP. He is not winning MVP.
I already know it's going to be Lamar.
I'll take Lamar. I'll take Lamar over Josh Allen.
But I will say this though. And I've watched a million MVP debates from this podcast, that podcast, this Sports Center, and this everybody's talking about it, obviously. Why is some people, but Barkley should be credited here.
Thank you.
He's literally
let's get into this right now. We'll get into it right now.
He's changed the identity of a team from a pass first to a run first, and he's carrying that team when he needs to.
On his back. He's literally carrying it on his back.
He has literally changed the dynamic of a team that was already dominant. So why is nobody putting more stock into his MVP run?
Right. And by the way, he's sitting out this week, so he's not going to break the record. But he hit 2,000. How many times in your life can you say that a running back's hit 2,000 yards in a season?
The problem is like people said, it's went from the MVP, the most valuable player, to the most valuable quarterback.
Exactly.
That's
MVQ.
what the fucking award is. It's what it is.
Right.
Because I mean, if you think about the effectiveness and the value of a player, is Lamar valuable? Yes. Is Allen valuable? Yes. But Barkley has literally been a centerpiece to a team that was already dominant and changed everything.
Right. And he's carrying that offense. Because Jalen Hurts,
Jalen not talked about more.
Right. Jalen Hurts he's not I wouldn't call him an elite quarterback. I'd say he's probably the next tier down, but he's very lucky to have Saquon Barkley on that team. The Eagles made I think they probably won the offseason by getting him and keeping him from a division foe too. That's crazy. No one ever thought that he would land in Philadelphia. That'd be the last place. But
I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, as much as I like Lamar as the MVP or whatever else, I just feel like Barkley should be getting way more stock than he is. I know people are talking about it, but he's not going to get the votes. It's going to be a quarterback. But
it's going to be a quarterback.
I should have. If I were to, I would give it to Barkley.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My vote was going to be Saquon Barkley. As much as it pains me as a Cowboys fan, Saquon Barkley deserves it way more than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only reason why I'm thinking that Lamar will take it is just because NFL media loves to focus on quarterbacks. Because the quarterbacks, they're the ones that snap the ball. They're the ones that start the play. And really,
they're the leaders on the field.
They're the leaders on the field. You have to take into consideration the people that are actually doing the work on the field, getting you those rushing yards, getting you those receiving yards, making those catches, making those big plays with your feet. I feel like that we should see quarterbacks have a completely separate award and taken out of the MVP conversation for a couple of years.
Yeah, because
as crazy as it is, because it's literally just a QB award.
Right. The last time,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it literally should be the most valuable quarterback because that's all they care about with this award.
Because the last time there was not a quarterback was AP back in 2012. So it's been 14 years since we've seen a non-quarterback get the MVP title.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's more to football than the quarterback. As much as the quarterback is very important, obviously, like Ben said, they get the snap. They're in control of the ball. It touches their hand except for trick plays every single play.
Right.
So, yes, a lot of times they're going to be your most valuable player. So, yes, they probably should win 90% of the time. But there's going to be times where people are playing are more valuable than the quarterback, and that's what I'm saying. Barkley's that guy this year.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts really has been in the background, just being a field general. And I think in order to get the Eagles into a good footing to where they could probably compete for a Super Bowl is they have to not rely on the tush push. They had to change the identity of their offense, to where they just had to struggle to get over the line. So when they got the opportunity to go get Saquon, they were just like, okay, let's just make sure our O-line is still powerful and still good.
Especially with losing Kelsey.
Look at the results that Saquon has. He has literally he's missing the record by 100 yards. It's absolutely insane.
Yep.
I did watch. Go ahead. Finish.
The fact that Sirianni is not going to start him, by the way, is a disgrace. He needs that record.
I was about to say that.
Sorry.
Yeah. So let's talk about
I watched the whole thing about people talking about that today. This is before the announcement came out that he definitely wasn't playing. This is from yesterday. Like people did different. I watched multiple different shows just to hear people talk about it. He probably only needs to play a half.
Yeah, not even
at most.
And they're playing against a Giants team.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
nobody.
saying. Like they probably play a half, and he could break the record and then set him down. Just give him that shot. And like I said, I saw Dickerson talking about, well, it's because he had 17 games. By the end of the day, he has less attempts than you, dog. Regardless of the games at all, he would. Yeah. I guarantee he gets that record in less attempts. So what's that supposed to mean? He didn't have to run the ball as much as you. He might have had an extra game, but he ran the ball less in those games. Yeah. They should let that man go for that record. I would. If I was a coach, fuck that. You're playing until you get it. If you don't get it by the end of the game, you're playing the whole game.
Yep.
Crazy.
I mean, speaking of records, Jerry Rice's 1,000-yard receiving record as far as consecutive seasons, that is about to be tied this Sunday. I mean, I'm going to be sitting in the 300 level watching.
That's right.
Just making sure that Mike gets that done. If he doesn't get it done, it's going to be an absolute disgrace. But we should see him.
How many yards does he need?
He needs 85 yards.
That's not.
Y'all are playing y'all are playing the
We're
Saints?
playing the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, so you should get that.
We should. I just don't want them to play spoiler.
How's the weather supposed to be? It's because we're getting a cool front up here in Orlando.
Weather in Tampa. Let's see real quick here.
Hey, while he's looking that up, if you're hanging your spending your New Year's with us, we appreciate you guys hanging out. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Subscribing to all of our channels. We're on pretty much every channel, social media channel you can think of. We're live tonight on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. doesn't take just us to make this channel possible. It takes you all in the community, so we appreciate you guys. Coach had to step out tonight. Had a little family emergency to take care of. We got Ben in his place, so Ben, we appreciate you stepping in the last second.
Absolutely.
We might have to get you a little character.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, to see.
As much as you've been on the show lately, we might have to get you a little character, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
That'd be fun, man. I would appreciate that. That'd be cool.
Ben, what's the weather looking like in Tampa this weekend?
So Sunday we are looking at sunny, 69 degrees.
He's shaking his head. He's shaking his head.
It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be perfect. It's a great day. It's an absolute great day to get the playoffs going. It's an absolute great day for that.
I do think it's crazy though. Up in Maryland, we did have 60-degree weather the last 2 days, and guess what? Yesterday's like, oh yeah, it's warm up there. Let me let a thunderstorm in the middle of fucking wintertime.
What in December?
We had a crazy ass thunderstorm with hail and heavy rain and all that shit last night, like an hour and a half in the wintertime. But it's because of the warm push.
Yeah, the warm weather.
We went from teens 20 degrees up to 60, 67, I think, one day.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mother Nature doesn't know what to do with herself.
I'll take this. I'll take this Florida weather up here in wintertime, but
absolutely,
the environment didn't like that shit. The atmosphere said, "Nah, let me send some hell down there real quick."
Yeah.
Well, I guess while we're on the topic, Ben, we'll hit a little Buccaneers take real quick. For those of you who don't know, the NFC South is still up for grabs. Easy for Ben's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They win, they're in. It's pretty much that simple. So Ben, what is it going to be that easy, or do you think is there going to be a dogfight pretty much this weekend?
So the Saints always play really, really well. It's something that they always fight. They're scrappy. They've always been a scrappy team. Their fans travel really well, so I know that they're going to be filling up the east side this weekend pretty good. Even if it's just to come on down to Tampa to just watch them lose by 30, because ultimately that's what's going to happen. We start slow in divisional games typically, and it takes probably until maybe start the third quarter or halfway through the third quarter for us to really get going sometimes. I think that the score is going to be a lot closer than most people are going to be. Yeah. We're basically the Packers. I mean,
the Packers are that exactly that.
Yeah. I mean, the Saints, they hate us because we got our first win in franchise history against them back in 1977. So, I mean, or excuse me, not even 77. I think it was 1970. No, it was 1977. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, ultra hated rivalry,
gritty classic rivalry.
I mean, too bad that Lattimore and Evans don't fight on the field anymore. Because that was
all I know.
Great time.
You know who I miss? You know who I miss watching play? Allstott or wherever that motherfucker.
Mike Allstott,
bro. Dude,
yeah,
he
absolutely
used to
was
run people the fuck over, and I loved watching him play as a kid, man.
Yeah,
I loved watching that man run the ball.
Speaking of dudes that run the ball, run people over, I think Bucky Irving is going to be that dude that's going to start running people over. Yeah, so he's more shifty. I don't think necessarily he's going to run people over per se, but he's going to be getting down the field pretty damn quick. We should see a pretty efficient game starting maybe. This is my idea. We should be up by 3 touchdowns in the second quarter with 2 minutes until halftime. If we're not up by 3 touchdowns, it's a disappointment. Bucky Irving should go for 120 yards on the ground this Sunday. Mike Evans should have 115 and 2 touchdowns.
You're very specific.
Right now.
If you hit this shit, if you hit this shit, you can have my spot on the show.
Okay, that's crazy.
No,
crazy.
No,
My
E.
man,
we gotta have you, man.
My man went
have you,
very
man.
specific though. My man said up by 3 touchdowns with 2 minutes left. Bucky, he had it down to what he should have. That's if you hit this, I give you
Crazy.
props.
Ben, I want to ask you this as a season ticket holder, who are the worst fans? Who are the worst opposing fans to deal with coming into Tampa?
Eagles fans. Eagles fans.
I like I like that answer.
Eagles. So this is my hierarchy of worst fans to deal with. Bills, because Bills fans just don't shut up.
Where's my Bills Mafia at? You said Saints?
And yeah, it goes Bills, Saints, Eagles. Eagles fans are absolutely the worst. They
have a
are
jail in their
crowd.
stadium for a reason.
Yep.
They had the jail at the Vet, and they still have the jail at the Link.
Yep.
When we were gonna play them in the playoff, when we played them in the playoffs a couple years ago, I thought about going up to Philly, and I was like, playoff game.
Are you talking about after the miracle?
Yeah, when we got our ass beat the following game.
Yeah.
I was gonna go up there. I was like, I'm good. I watched.
Hell no.
My friend Joe, he's from like Philly, like dead center North Philly. And he says, if you ever go to an Eagles game, make sure that you do not wear your opposing team's colors in there. Just go in neutral clothes. Because if you go in opposing team's colors and you go up into the 600 level, it's not going to end well.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, this is not worth it. Not over a game I just want to enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I give FedEx Commanders fans. I've been over there more than once to watch the Vikings. For one, I'm too young to really remember. We were up. It was when Randy Moss was still in the Vikings. I was young. But the last time I went, obviously there was a shit ton of Vikings fans. It literally felt like a home game. My entire section was all Vikings fans except for like a couple Commanders fans. But like even still out there talking to them and like getting drinks and stuff, everybody was just cool. It was just a good game. Like, they were good sports. We were good sports. It wasn't nasty at all. It's like, why can't you just like, who cares, bro?
I'm glad you had a good experience with them. I always have a shit experience when I go because as a Cowboys fan.
Well, that's because you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, that's true.
That's because you're a Cowboys fan.
All right. Anyways.
But I will say, when I walked up to the stadium, I walked up with a group of like 20 Vikings fans. It was all like we all, I guess, like decided to park in the same parking lot. We all like, it was a big ass pack of us. So I mean, it's just cool, man. Like,
so was that was the very first game, or the more recent game you went to?
It was when we just recently played them, like what,
2 years ago, right? Yeah. So
I actually, was it the same year or was it the year before that we played the Ravens and I had tickets for that game and I got the fucking flu the day of.
Oh
the game.
fuck!
So I had to not go. I had free tickets to the Ravens.
No way! I would have said fuck, and I would have gone. I would have chugged something.
In the Ravens obviously are my second favorite team, so it would have been cool as shit to go to the game and be there for both the teams.
Purple
You know what
Bowl.
I mean? So like, yeah, it was. But that's
sucked ass.
My goal in my life, though, is by next year I want to go to a home game up in Minnesota. I just want to go to that stadium, man.
It's cool. It's really cool.
That'd be a great time, man.
I went to Minneapolis summer of 21, and I was on the train. I drove. We rode past it, but it's a cool thing to see in person.
I definitely want to go.
The last time I went up to Minnesota was back in 2010. Like the last time I went to Minneapolis, I should say. And that was back when the Metrodome was still open. I gotta say, having a giant mall right next to the Metrodome is absolutely insane. It is a weird concept to me. I do not understand it. And yet, there is a giant mall right next to it. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, it makes for good parking though. It makes
cool.
parking easy.
Yeah. So
I mean, you've been to you're talking about Mall America, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I went to Mall America. That place is fucking massive. Like we're talking like 3 floors worth of like stores. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Plus the Nickelodeon land as well.
Yeah,
too,
then
they had in there, which was nuts.
I walked through it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never been to Minnesota.
You gotta go, man. You gotta go.
Never been there at
all. Ben, something else I want to pick your brain with. Recently, the Panthers have been playing really good ball. Obviously, you killed the shit out of them last week, but before that, they've been playing pretty decent ball. Could you see them potentially upsetting the Falcons this weekend and ruining any chances of them making the playoffs?
Yes, absolutely. And the reason why I say that is because this is going to be Michael Penix's second start.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Penix Jr. hasn't had any real playing
experience.
experience.
Third start.
It's either second or third start.
It'll be his third.
I liked
it'll be his third
last
start.
Week.
I think if Bryce Young doesn't turn the ball over, and if Carolina is able to effectively move the ball down the field, just because the Falcons defense is not that great. They perform really well in certain situations against certain teams, but there are weaknesses there.
Right.
With Raheem Morris's defense. I could see the Panthers upsetting if they keep it close.
Yeah. Because the game is in Atlanta. So definitely I wouldn't count that out. I mean, it's going to be
a hostile environment for them.
They can't. The thing is, but we said that Panther fans can't draw fans. Atlanta fans, they can't draw fans either. But I guess
since they're gonna draw a bunch this weekend.
Yeah, since this is kind of like their win or go home game.
Yeah.
So, on that topic, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and highlight the Sunday night game from this past week. We had a flex
really
game.
Man.
It was probably the game. We could debate it was the game of the week.
It's definitely the game of the week for sure.
It was a great game. It came down to the wire.
Exactly.
Daniels showed why Daniels got that spot.
Absolutely. So, Commanders take the dub on Sunday night, 30-24 in overtime. I think did I cut somebody off?
No. Go ahead.
No.
We'll start with the Commanders. Jaden Daniels continues to put great stats up. 24 for 36, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns. The only issue he had is he was sacked 5 times. So I don't. I mean,
he also rushed for 127 yards too. Like the dude.
So he kind of made up for it.
My man's a mini Lamar. Like he's just a little skinny version of Lamar, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. So I think he's using Lamar as a mentor. Is it without a doubt that he's winning Rookie of the Year?
Ooh,
I think it's between him and Brock
Bowers. Yeah. Yeah, I would say. I mean, Brock Bowers was great off the bat, great from the start. Jaden Daniels had kind of a rough start, rough get go from the beginning. So I think it could go really either way.
And for Rookie of the Year is Bucky Irving.
That's true. That is true too. He's putting up great. He's putting up great stats as well.
Yeah, he has over 1,000 rushing yards. Leads all rookies.
Yeah, so I mean that could be you got 3 solid choices: Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers, and Bucky Irving.
I just feel like when you got a quarterback that's operating in that it's going to be the same thing as like an MVP thing.
Yeah,
they're most likely going to lean towards that quarterback.
I mean, to think about it, in 2016, it was between Dak and Zeke that year, and they ended up giving it Dak, even though Zeke performed better.
Speaking of him, I got something. Did you see that shit about him?
Yeah, we'll get to it in Cowboys Nation.
Cowboys Nation.
We'll get to it. Let's see. I actually knew a lot of people who were at this game. I'm surprised Rahul's not here still, but just overall just a great game. Do you see that video? You see that NFL meme that those Falcon fans watched at the bar and they thought they won, and they were all going crazy, but he kicked it short. That was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, that was absolutely hilarious.
You know what's something that I liked about this game, and somebody else pointed it out, but you can even tell by looking at the stats. McLaurin only had 1 catch for 5 yards.
The Falcons defense, and Ben, I know you mentioned the Falcons defense wasn't that great, but they shut McLaurin down.
Think about who they
did.
Think about who Daniels threw to win this game and to put up yards. That's like a whole Allen situation. He was able to use what he had available and win the game.
Go down the artillery.
I think that's a great sign for a quarterback when you don't have a crazy cast around you to still be able to win a game. That's great. When that's like, obviously it's a whole different world because obviously I love McLaurin, but he's not getting the attention that Jets gets. But like the fact that even when Justin's getting double and triple team, Darnold's been able to utilize other people on the team. I love the fact that I saw Daniels do that with less caliber than what Darnold has. I mean, the dude, I don't even know how to pronounce the old boy's name.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah, there you go. 85 yards. That's
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
he had a pretty nice touchdown catch too.
Zach Ertz. I mean, we're talking about if you would have talked about him in the day, it's different. We're talking about today's Ertz for 72 yards.
He's really risen from the dead. He's really turned his career around. I think he's kind of saved it.
It's cool to see a rookie quarterback to be able to have the composure that Daniels has and be able to make plays with or without McLaurin being impactful, with or without the running game being impactful, where he had to be the bulk of the running game. He's finding ways to win off of his shoulders, and I think that's. When you got a rookie quarterback, that's good. That's a veteran move. I just think that as long as he can stay healthy, the thing that I was going to say earlier about he doesn't have the body that Lamar has to be able to sustain running the ball constantly. He's smaller. Yeah. He can't keep running the ball the way he's doing it.
Well,
he's going to eventually have to change it up.
Well, and you can't trust his offensive line either. They're notorious for, having they're cursed with injuries, but you just can't trust. You can't really just trust trust your own line.
Yeah, I just worry about him getting hurt.
Yeah,
he's smaller, taking them hits from them linebackers and shit. It's different when he's running. He's getting hit by cornerbacks and safeties. Okay, but when you're sitting there getting fucking licked by these
getting murked
linemen and linebackers, dude, you're small. Let's figure out a way to be effective, but. Obviously, like I said, they're in a rebuild mode. Obviously, they've done great 11-5 in a rebuild, but they need to find a way to get the ball out of his hands more.
Sooner.
Yeah, and soon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Looking at the Falcons side, Michael Penix didn't have too bad of a game himself. 19 for 35, 223 yards, a touchdown, interception. Only took 2 sacks. Bijan Robinson was basically the big part of their offense. He had 17 carries for 90 yards and 2 of their touchdowns. Drake London, 7 catches, 106 yards. Kyle Pitts rose from the dead somehow. He somehow found the end zone again. 4 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown.
I hate that, man.
I know. I do too.
I got him 3 years of fantasy. I'm never going to. I told myself I wasn't going to do it after my second year. I did it again as like a backup. I don't give a damn if he's the last person. I'm gonna pick a third string fucking tight end before I pick his ass.
Facts.
I picked Kyle Pitts once, and I said to myself, "Never again."
No, never again.
I say it every year, and I do it anyway. And I don't know why I keep doing it to myself.
Yeah, he can kick rocks respectfully. But yep. So with the Falcons' loss, it kind of puts them in a kind of a desperate situation. So they will have to, in order for them to make the playoffs, they will have to win, and then we'll have to have the Tampa Bay Bucks lose on Sunday. I don't really see it happening. The better odds point towards the Bucks winning the division. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. I do have to use the restroom. Do you want to hit the SKOL Chant real quick? And then we'll hit Cowboy Nation after that.
Absolutely. So obviously it's the SKOL Chant, everything Minnesota. But I came into this game thinking it was going to be. Now the score makes it look like it was super close, and obviously they came back in that late third, early in the fourth.
Yeah.
But really, the first 3 quarters, we beat the shit out of them, man. I mean, Love couldn't do anything. We had Jacobs hemmed up. I mean, he only had 69 yards. Our defense played great ball. Our offense was putting the ball in rotation. Darnold had 377 yards, 3 touchdowns, one interception. But I will say this. Darnold only has 2 interceptions in like the last almost 2 months. That's crazy to think about, considering how he. Go ahead.
I mean, you have to give credit to Kevin O'Connell.
He's a fucking
for
great
having
coach.
the offense built to just basically just put any quarterback in there. You can have literally, you could have Sam Darnold walk off the team tomorrow and go get Kirk Cousins to come back, and he'd probably throw lights out on that offense. I don't know what it is that's going on.
We have JJ obviously, and the thing about Justin is, and I respected one of his post games or one of his interviews. I can't remember if it was a post game interview or if it was just an interview in general. People were asking like, how does it feel when you had those games where the opposing team doubles and triples you to where you can't produce the numbers? He's like, obviously, every player wants to produce numbers. Do I want touchdowns? Do I want records? Do I want yards? Of course. But my team is winning, and I'm still a part of that win because I'm taking away that defense. So now that Addison can get open. Now Hockenson can get open. Aaron Jones out the backfield can get – you know what I mean? Like, there's so many facets that he adds to a team, whether he's catching the ball or not. He changes the game.
Yeah. It comes down really to that we, not me mentality that Justin Jefferson has. You got to have, if you're going to get double teams, triple teams in certain situations, have to run through triple coverage. You're going to have to just simply, just say, hey, I'm not going to have the best game. I'm not going to have those lights out numbers I normally produce. I may still be able to produce, just because he's a top 5 receiver in the league currently right now. He had 8 receptions for 92 yards, no touchdowns, no tutties at all. And
he was out of the end zone.
If you think about this, though, he hasn't been a touchdown generating receiver this year. He went 2 months without a single touchdown.
And I think part of that comes down to Justin Jefferson's ability to open up the field vertically. For him to get vertical, when you get down into the red zone, you really can't get vertical just because you're just going to have to go.
Well, they did a breakdown of teams, how they defend him in the red zone. They're going to double him in the red zone.
Yeah.
Easy. They have to. If they don't, then he's going to score every single time.
Yeah, and that's only going to open up weapons, additional weapons for Minnesota to use.
That's why Addison's been a touchdown magnet this year. And that's the thing. And it was funny because when I saw a thing where Addison and Jefferson were sitting down talking to an interviewer with those two, and he was like, I love it when they double team him. I mean, think about it, and like Justin said, I like to see my guys eat. That's when he was like, do I want the yards and the everything? Of course, but I can also see my team eat when I'm getting, because he's getting doubled every play. He puts up 92 yards, still getting doubled. But when they start tripling him, that they were like breaking down this.
Then Addison opens up though.
It was like one play every drive. There was somebody on top, and then 2 underneath of Jefferson every play. They made sure they had 2 to 3 people every single play on him. That's crazy to have somebody that dynamic that has that impact. But like I said, Addison's has been playing great ball this year. He's been playing great ball since we drafted him. He's a great. I do think that obviously Naylor had a great game. He had the touchdown grab, 81 yards. If we find a critical third receiver, that's going to be a wrap. People better hope that we just stick with our 1 and 2 and not have a third that really. Now, I'm not saying Hockenson don't do that because TJ does that great. He's phenomenal. He's definitely our third receiving option. But if we find a third receiver to add to that, it's going to be crazy.
Should be lights out.
It absolutely will be.
I'm trying to think who are some like free agent like receivers this upcoming year.
The problem is we don't really have the cap for anything. We're probably going to have to draft if we want to do anything crazy over the next couple of years because Jefferson's is going to start that chokehold on our salaries that's going to start happening. Not next year, but the year after.
Yeah, year after. What's Addison's contract situation? Is he a rookie contract or is he?
I think he goes into his fifth year.
Okay.
This year,
so
I think.
I've got the salary cap space pulled up for 2025 and 2026. Currently, the Vikings are looking at a cap space of 76.4 million under the cap for 2025, and then 2026, just because they haven't signed any players yet, currently sits the Vikings at 100,430,000 under the cap. But as you start to sign players and as you go through free agency and everything, you're going to see that cap disappear very quick.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my concern is that how are we going to be able to keep any of the stars that we but the thing about it is I would say this, outside of Addis, outside of our offense, besides Grenard and Van Ginkel, we don't have a lot of crazy names on our defense.
No.
It's our coordinator, and I have a feeling we're gonna lose that. We're gonna lose that guy, and I don't want to.
I think it's going to come down to the GM just hardlining every free agent.
He has been great with finding ways to be creative with cap space. If you think about who we have, he's been great. He really has. He finds a way to make it work. But I don't know, man. My biggest fear is we lose Brian Flores this offseason. Nobody's going to be able to, as much as I love our defense this year, nobody's going to take that group of guys. If we kept the team exactly the same, no changes, which obviously there's going to be changes. If we kept the team the same, no changes, another coordinator is not going to do what Brian Flores is doing right now with that team.
No,
absolutely not.
We don't have the names, bro. We don't have the names. We don't have the star power. It's his scheming that's got us to where we are right now.
I was in your same boat last year. I did not want Dan Quinn to go. I was hoping that he would stay. He would survive.
I thought we were going to lose him last year, and we got him for another year. I don't want to lose him. I know we're probably going to. I really hope that we find a way to be like, you know what? Fuck the head coach's spot to stay here. We have a great dynamic in KOC and Brian Flores as the coordinators and the head coach, obviously. But they call shit perfect for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone sees it.
It's crazy, man. And I love the culture they built in the team. To see, did y'all see the celebration in the locker room?
Yeah.
When they were throwing the water on him and stuff
Donald, yeah.
And then you see KOC just kind of stand back like a proud dad moment. It's just cool to see your team clicking like that, man. Because
definitely
a locker room could be a make or break. Think about Aaron Rodgers and what he does to a locker room. You can have great potential, but if you have a bad locker room, it don't mean shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the fact that KOC has built a culture of he appreciates the guys, he shows it, he preaches the 1-0 mentality. Every game's a new season. I like everything about our coach, man. I really do. I love our coach.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So we'll get into it. We'll get into it as we talk about next week's matchups. Got an exciting game coming up in Week 18 on Sunday night.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's
going to be a great
game. Fucking wild game, man.
I cannot wait for that.
You know, I really can't believe we're about to have a 15-2 team.
As a wild card,
a 14-3 team be a wild card.
It was they said that this will be the first year that a team will have that record and lose their division. That's crazy. Somebody's going to be losing the division at 14-3. That's fucking wild, man.
I think the Cowboys and the Eagles came to that point, came close to that a couple years back.
No, they literally said this will be the first time in the history of the NFL that a team is 14-3 and loses. This was talked about before we won and before the Lions won. If we win, it would be this is the first time in history that somebody's gonna have that good of a record and lose their division. That just tells you how good the NFC North is. Because the Packers at 11-5 are playing better usually than 11-5. They're a great team.
Right.
The Bears, a couple pieces away, should be a great team.
Mm-hmm. But the Bears have their own issues.
Yeah, it's our division is crazy, man.
Stacked, and it's fun to watch.
And it's great every time you see our an NFC North division game come up. Be like, yes, I want to watch that. I don't care if it's Lions, Packers, us, Packers, whoever. It's just fun to watch, regardless of who wins. It's just good games.
Yeah,
agreed.
I would love to see the NFC Central come back. Just in a way that we could just face each other twice a year again. Because I'm kind of getting tired of facing the Falcons, facing the Panthers, facing the Saints, and they're either really, really good or they're really, really horrible. Because the NFC South has struggled to be a really good division for a very long time.
Right.
It's just it's just crazy to think about where the NFC North was 5 years ago. It was just a Packers show. We didn't really have any competition. We'd have a good year and then we'd fall off. We'd have a good year, then we'd fall off, and it was so back and forth. And now, it could be anybody's division because every team is playing that. We could easily be looking at the Packers at the number one spot right now. A couple different plays, as many one-score games that we've had in our division, we could easily be looking at the Packers at 14-2. The Packers aren't a bad team.
No, they're not.
No,
they lost some key. They lost a couple key games, so that's the reason why they won't.
Honestly, the only reason why I love my team. I'm just realistic. The only reason why I'm even hopeful right now is that the Lions are riddled with so many injuries because that team at full power is fucking scary. With no
absolutely,
they have 20 plus injuries and they're still fucking winning. They're still putting up 40 points, bro. 20 goddamn injuries. That's crazy. They're still winning games with that many fucking you know what I mean? To have that many impactful injuries, not nobody's impactful injuries, and they're still winning. That team at full health right now, there would be no competition in this fucking league. No competition in the league if they're fully healthy.
Yeah,
not at all. Not my team. Not anybody's team. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're winning it.
There you go.
That's just reality, bro.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm looking hopeful for my team this Sunday night.
Absolutely. We'll get into our picks here shortly. Real quick, is that all you had for SKOL Chant? Cool. Real quick, I just want to hit the Broncos. I want to talk about the Broncos Bengals game as well.
That was a good game.
That was a great game. I'm just if it wasn't Falcons Commanders, this was probably the game of the week as well. Bengals sneak away with the win. They barely stay alive in the AFC in the wild card race. They come out with a dub in overtime, 30-24. You want to pull up the playoff map real quick?
Yes, sir. So
looking at the AFC side, so we kind of got sidetracked, but currently the Broncos hold that last spot. I think they have the pretty easiest way of getting in. If they win on Sunday against the Chiefs, who are playing all their backups, they're in. So lock up that next seed. If for some reason the Broncos lose, then it goes to the Dolphins or the Bengals. So basically, the Dolphins will have an easier shot if the Broncos lose, and then the Bengals need help from both the Dolphins and the Broncos. They will both need to lose in order for the Bengals to win. I think the Bengals have like a 5% chance right now. Dolphins have like a 16% chance. So coming down to the wire in the AFC, we already talked about the NFC. NFC is pretty much set.
It's just crazy to think that Burrows is playing the way that he's playing, and they're fucking 8-8.
Yes, it is insane.
Dude is going crazy.
They could be 9-8, and then they're gonna miss the playoffs. It's crazy.
It goes to show you cannot rely on one dimension. You have to have offense and defense. Be at an elite level in order to compete.
The saying "defense wins championships" will always hold true. You can have shootouts all you want, but you're always going to roll the dice because the other team might have that one key defensive play that changes everything.
I wish
to have a defense, man.
Right. I wish Coach was still here because I really wanted to pick his brain about what he said. Remember like very early on he was talking all that smack about Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to pick his brain and see what he thought. But I'll say that for next week.
412 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
But if you see, he had 7 sacks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but on the year though, he's out in front of golf. He has 46-41 on his total yards.
It's insane.
The next closest is golf at 39.98.
Oh, he's
43.98. Like that's crazy, bro.
And he's gonna miss the playoffs.
Yep.
He has 42 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's it. It's crazy.
I would even, I would debate. I would put him ahead of the MVP stats over Josh Allen.
Now it's funny that you brought that up because people were talking about that today, and I was listening to him talk, and they said that the problem is, how could you give an MVP to a team that's losing? You have to be able to win.
That's literally it. That's what the reason why he's not going to win MVP.
If his record was the same as Buffalo or Baltimore, nobody would be in competition for him for MVP right
Correct.
now. If he was winning games, if his defense was better, even though it's not his fault, even though them losing is not his fault.
No, it's not his fault.
They're never going to give the MVP to somebody that's not winning, regardless if it's his fault or not. But like I said, if their record was the record of any other team that's in the talks for MVP, he would be front runner with no competition.
Yep.
No competition at all.
Absolutely. None at all. You know who I'm really happy. I'm really blessed about is T. Higgins. I had T. Higgins in one of my money leagues.
131, 3 touchdowns,
3 touchdowns, and 131. He had 11 catches for 131 yards. He won me $250.
Well, yeah, go ahead and throw me 50. Go ahead and throw me 50. It's okay. Throw me 50 over here.
Oh man. Jamar Chase still had 100 yards. He had 102 yards receiving, none catches. So still put a great game.
You had Gesicki at 86 yards. I mean, he was even balling.
Everyone balled down the Bengals offense, and I mean don't get me wrong, the Broncos have a great defense, and they weren't able. I don't think the Broncos weren't able to execute as a team overall. Too many errors. Too many.
I will say though
penalties.
that Bo Nix has definitely surprised me this year. I think Bo Nix is going to be great for that organization moving forward. Yeah. Definitely somebody you can build around.
Definitely, and him and Sean Payton definitely, I think, are a good mix together.
Yeah, I'll say, and he's been a good quarterback kind of coach anyway. He has to click. Him and Russell weren't clicking. It just wasn't it. But I think that Bo Nix is somebody that they already have a good defense. Now you can build your offense around your franchise quarterback. And I think that moving forward, as long as they build the team right, Broncos are going to be scary for the foreseeable future.
For sure. I think they'll be back to the old Peyton Manning days. Mm-hmm. Forgot about Joe Burrow. Play that clip real quick.
Oh yeah. My guy celebrating.
Yeah.
Hitting the old something that my boy made popular.
Oh yeah.
A touchdown run by Joe Burrow. His second of the season.
Did you watch him talk about that?
Yeah.
When they were like, he was like, I didn't know what to do. They were all like, what are you going to do for your celebration? He's like, I'll just do the gritty.
Yeah, he looked at Jamar and he was like, "What the fuck do I do? I don't know." So he just hit the gritty. It is that was clean. It was good too. It's not like it was like a bad one, but
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It was definitely.
I've seen some bad ones. I've seen some bad ones.
So,
well, actually, speaking of, wasn't Gesicki? Wasn't he the one that was on Dolphins?
Yeah,
he was the one that hit the ugly ass gritty when he played against us. It was so bad.
Oh god, it's
so
ugly.
bad.
I gotta find a video and later we'll find it later on.
Let me see. It was so bad.
Yeah, but yeah, I totally agree though. Bo Nix, I think he's in a great place over there. I really thought that he was gonna win Rookie of the Year, but I don't think he's put up the stats as much as Jaden Daniels.
It was definitely him because as soon as I went to Google, I put in GES, it went Gesicki gritty. it filled it out for me. I didn't even have to search it, man.
Much.
Hold on, let me see.
I'll pull this up real quick. But yeah, Bo Nix, 24-31, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns, and interception. Not too bad of a game. Let's see this. Oh, against the Vikings out of all teams.
Water throws, end zone, touchdown, Mike Gesicki.
That's right, because
it was so bad, dude. It was so bad.
I remember that.
He just high stepped.
See, I remember that because I remember Terry Bradshaw doing it like the week after he did the same thing on the
I remember he played against us when he did it, but he's like, I just wanted to do it, and it was like it was so bad. Like
it's not even like a gritty, like you say, he high stepped.
I love my children, but obviously the gritty is the popular thing, and that's what they look like doing the shit. Leave it alone, guys. Leave it alone. They're practicing. Like my youngest. Look, I swear to you, the other night I walk in the kitchen. My youngest was taking the football because he's really getting into football right now.
Yeah,
he was spinning the ball in the middle of the floor. He spun it, so it was spinning on us, and he started doing the gritty. I was like, he's over here practicing celebrations.
I mean, home's the place to do it rather than bet in the practice field, right?
Hey, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's up there practicing. I'm like, you realize you can't celebrate until you're like in college, dog. High school, they're gonna flag you immediately.
Flagging you get kicked off the team.
Yeah, you can't celebrate until like college, bro.
Ridiculous.
It is.
You can't. Like, I remember the most basic bullshit celebrations, like just cheering and like getting hype, and they would throw flags.
It's bullshit.
Like,
bring back to our referee thing.
Like,
yeah,
I understand I understand like being like overly like crazy as a kid. That's different. But let him have some fun, man. All you could do is like fucking high five and chest bump. Like, that's all you could really do.
Barely. I mean, if you high five too hard, then if you high five too hard, then
yeah, it's. But it was funny because he was like, "Well, why can't I celebrate?" When I'm like, it's a thing. You can't really celebrate until college just made it to where you could celebrate. Like you couldn't even celebrate in college for forever.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, so you got a long time before you can do this. So you have plenty of time to practice your gritty and spinning the ball, my guy. You got like 10 plus years. So you're good.
Definitely. So, all right, let's quickly. I don't have much to talk about on Cowboy Nation. Let's hit it. Just get it over with. Another Cowboy.
You know that song really says "Cowboys are cool," and I cut that off.
I thought it was gonna say like I was kind of sad when it got cut off by the Cowboy. Yeah. But another week, another rough go for the Dallas Cowboys. They dropped one 41-7 to our rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. It was bad. I will continue to say it. Cooper Rush is not a good quarterback. He needs to get the fuck off this team. And
One and one.
I just don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is with Trey Lance. Just give him there. This is the time right now to decide who's going to be your backup quarterback going forward, because it's not going to be Cooper Rush.
What's crazy is that it's being talked about so much, not just by you, but by multiple, to the point where Jerry Jones came out and said, we're not starting him. Everybody wants to start this kid.
And then he's going to get released. And then he's going to get released because this is his contract year. Same with Cooper Rush. And then you just basically just wasted draft capital after that. I say it every single week. You dropped a 4th rounder for this guy. And it's just being wasted at this point. It makes no sense. No sense.
If I can just say real quick, you guys did steal one from us a couple weeks ago with Cooper Rush. He did play decent.
He played okay. Yes, I'll give that to you. Yeah. He played decent Sunday night.
Went 26 for 35, 292 yards, a single touchdown. But really, I don't know what Jerry Jones was thinking with just not giving Trey Lance a shot.
Right?
Why do you even have him on the roster? You're just gonna have him play with practice squad the whole time,
or as emergency third quarterback? Like,
doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense why he's here. Yeah. If you're not gonna start him,
I think that Jerry Jones, needs to be forced into retirement. Needs to be forced.
We've been saying that since like week 2. My guy,
family has to force him.
They're not going to do it. He's going to die. He's going to die before he steps down.
I loved,
and he's not going to win another Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
When Stephen A. did that, when I played that clip a couple weeks ago, when Stephen A. was like, everybody has that one person that they're close to that can talk about doing stuff. Where's Jerry Jones' person to talk about it every time he's going to talk in front of the media? Somebody needs to be in his ear and say, you can't say that. Like, don't say that. Don't say stupid shit.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing is that Steven, his son, is not better. It's not much better than Jerry is.
I will say that your running game has turned around from the beginning of the season.
Thank God, because it's been rough
you guys
to watch.
Were bad for a while and
for a long time.
Rico has been doing great the last couple weeks, man.
Yeah, he I think he's like one of the first players to rush for 1,000 yards without being drafted.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that pop up. Saying he had 1,000 yards and he wasn't. I did see that.
So here's my issue, though. This is also his contract year, so I actually think he doesn't come back next year because he's going to want too much money. So I don't think the Cowboys are going to re-sign him.
But do you think that he's earned too much money status? I mean, he didn't really come off until the end of the season. Do you think that he's earned that? In a league that obviously Barkley is making it hard for people to deny the running back. In a league where the league didn't want to play running backs until this year.
Yeah.
Because of what Barkley's doing.
Right.
So do we think that he's going to want that payday, or is he going to stay there and try to build?
No, I personally, I don't see them building off of him. I think he really he was just handed an opportunity and he took it. So, I mean, good for him. Don't get me wrong. I like the guy, but I for some reason, I don't say, what's up, Jake? How you doing?
Hey,
Happy New Year, Jake. I really don't see him making it back on this team next year. Speaking of
for y'all's sake, I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, but speaking of people who didn't make it, you have that clip, or did you have a clip for Zeke?
I do not have a clip for Zeke.
Okay. Oh, but you have one from. I'm getting it mixed. You have one from Micah.
Yeah. I will say that I did see. Happy New Year, Jake.
Sir.
Happy New Year.
I did see that they released him to give him the opportunity to play for a playoff team.
Yes.
Picking up Zeke, bro.
No one's fucking picking him up. So for those who missed it, the Cowboys did release yesterday. They did release Ezekiel Elliott, long-tenured Dallas Cowboy, to give him an opportunity to play with a contending team. Now, who might pick him up is beyond me, but I wish him the best of luck. He was my favorite player for a long time. He was just a great running back. He obviously, as every running back does, he kind of just decayed year after year after year. I still, to this day, will hold Jerry Jones to this that they never should have let him go to New England last season. They should have never let Tony Pollard be the starting running back last year. So, and look what happened.
I just didn't like how cocky he was when he was good. He was a cocky little sumbitch, man.
Yeah, I mean, but you're right. I mean, he did show a lot of enthusiasm, but I mean, he was just dominant. He was.
I can't really say much though. Randy Moss, one of my favorite players. I mean,
with AP as well.
I mean, but Randy though, he did some shit.
He did some whack ass shit.
We were just talking about it. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a great game, win or lose. I think it's gonna be great football. But I am nervous to the fact that if we win, we're number 1 seed, baby, and we gotta bring everybody through US Bank, and that place is crazy. You imagine
it's a hard place to play. Yep.
Playoff US Bank, that's going to be loud, baby. That's a good advantage. That's a good advantage.
You have to make it to the wild card first.
Yeah, exactly. Prior to Sunday's game, they went ahead and shut down CeeDee Lamb. I thought it was going to kill me and a lot of fantasy owners, including myself. For me personally, it actually didn't affect too much, but it makes sense there's no reason to keep playing him. His AC joint's torn apart, so he needs to just have surgery and get it ready for next season. Assuming that they'll have a healthy Dak as well next season. So I was sad in the moment, but it just makes sense. And looking back at it, there's no reason to keep playing him. Looking ahead at this weekend, we play Washington. Washington doesn't really have anything to play for except for really seeding. So Cowboys will look to play spoiler. Depending on how this weekend goes, I think that will kind of determine Mike McCarthy's future. I've been saying it week after week. I want him gone. But if they can't come out with a dub this weekend, I think that they'll let him go.
You know, I was watching something about that, and they were talking about his future. They were like, he's in control, blah, blah, blah. Saying like, if he wants to stay, he can demand money. Like, what does he have? He doesn't have it. He can't go somewhere else. Nobody's going to hire him anywhere else.
No. Well,
especially in a league right now that, and this is something they brought up that I didn't know, that the average age of a coach hiring right now is 45. So they're going younger.
Right.
He's aged. He hasn't had good seasons with Dallas. So it's like, why wouldn't he? Like, he doesn't have.
As far as I've seen, Washington is playing their starters. I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled him second half, but I haven't seen anything otherwise that they're going to bench their starters.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But that's actually a 45 is a pretty is a fair point. I know I've been reading a couple articles. I think the Cowboys will probably potentially be looking at, if for some reason they don't go back to Mike McCarthy. I think Mike Vrabel would be a good match. Your boy Brian Flores would be another one. Pete Carroll maybe. As long you know what, as long as it's not Bill Belichick,
you don't want old ass Pete Carroll, man.
No.
You don't want Pete Carroll.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Mike Vrabel either, because he only brought Tennessee to like one good playoff run. Is when they played the Chiefs. They made it to the championship against the Chiefs, or they might have been the divisional.
I think Pete Carroll would actually be a great pick.
Oh shit, Jake is a Cowboys fan. I did not know that.
Oh, that's crazy.
I did not know that after all this time of him being in here.
I thought Jake was an Eagles fan, but my bad, Jake.
Pete
Damn,
Carroll,
you gonna insult him like that? Oh, he is an Eagles fan.
See,
you're right.
See, I wasn't tripping. Oh, you know what? Jake's probably saying that he wants to get him in the playoffs.
I got you.
Yeah. Because if Washington does end up the 7th seed, they will go to Philadelphia, and so they'll play a third time.
That would be crazy.
That'd be a good ass game.
Yeah.
Jake, don't kill me. It would be crazy if that did happen and they took y'all out first round.
No, I don't
That
see
would
it
be
happening.
crazy.
That would be.
Oh Lord, but that's pretty much all I have for Cowboys Nation. Zeke's gone. Cowboys continue to suck ass. They're kind of just decaying away. I want Mike McCarthy gone.
Before we get off of that, before I play the clip, what we were talking about earlier about Saquon, they had 195 passing yards with their backup quarterbacks. Saquon had 167 yards rushing. The man is literally the fucking
ridiculous.
offense, bro.
He is the offense.
How is he not MVP? This game is a perfect example. They beat you all. I'm sorry. They beat you all.
I accept it. They beat the shit out of us.
He didn't even get a touchdown.
Watch the whole game.
He didn't even get a touchdown. He just kept putting them in positions to score.
Right.
He had 167 yards. He almost had
It made
half
it
of
look
y'all's
easy. And made it look easy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. It's just to say he's not in that front running is crazy to me, man. I don't know. It just baffles me.
It's crazy. But all right, that wraps up for Cal. No, we ain't losing to Washington. Washington's smart. They try to win on Sunday, so they keep 60 to avoid Philly. Yeah, that is true.
I agree 100%. No, I don't think that they beat y'all.
But
I'm just saying it would be funny as hell.
Here's the thing, though. Packers are not going to lose the Bears. I will say that right now. They're not going to lose the Bears.
Speaking of, Jake, since you are an Eagles fan, do you or do you not agree that Barkley should be talked about in this MVP race more than he is? We talked about it. I had my whole, you'll see the clips posted. He's literally changed y'all's team this year. And even when y'all didn't really need to change, he still did it from his play. I just want to hear your thoughts in the comments while we move on to this clip and to the rest of the show. But just curious to see it from an Eagles perspective. But you want me to go ahead and run this clip?
Yeah, go ahead and run the clip while we wait for Jake to write his response.
You look at their play, they have 2 big runs and 3 good deep shots. Other than that, we made them earn it, and you take away we really take away the scoreboard. It was about 5 plays that decided this game. And you hate to say that because it's a lot of football, but the 2 deep shots to Devontae Smith and the one to A.J. Brown, and then also Devontae on that slant, for the most part, we were making them earn it.
I smell excuses.
It's hard to say. Parsons didn't have any sacks.
If you think about this, though, every game's going to come down to that. Every game's going to come down to a couple plays, bro. Unless you're talking about a complete, like dominant performance, even though the score says that. But, unless you're saying, a pure dominant performance, every game's going to come down to 4 or 5 key plays. Every single game. It's the NFL. It's professional.
Yeah.
It is.
So, I don't know. I would say he's in the top 4 in the MVP conversation, but it's such a QB-driven award, and they wouldn't. You see, there you go.
That was exactly what I said earlier. I said it's the most valuable quarterback anymore. It's not.
So if it wasn't rigged as for a quarterback, even if he broke the rushing record, they would still. No, I think you know what? I think I disagree with that. I think if he broke the record, I think that they would have given him the award.
Yeah, Sirianni needs to change his mind and start.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I just say
Saquon
even if
this Sunday.
all he needs is a half.
Give him
all
a
he
chance.
needs is a half.
I'm sure all those Philly fans are going to burn down. They're going to burn down.
I mean, if he comes up short like AP did back in 2012, I think Saquon would still.
And it's crazy. The Eagles are
MVP
playing at home. The Eagles are playing at home this weekend. So why not do it in front of your home fans?
Yeah,
that'd be crazy, man.
I expect Sirianni to get booed big time when he comes out that time.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, with that being said, Want to run it to our primetime picks? Let's wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
I still can't get over my baby face in that thing.
You look like a child, man. You look like a
it's crazy. And like, it was just a couple months ago. Like
I know it's weird. It's so weird how you look like a whole different person.
It's probably it's probably the lighting.
I don't know what it is. All I know is you look like you're a teenager. And fast forward 2 months, it's a facial hair, and now all of a sudden you look like you're in your 20s.
Oh Lord! All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, if you're spending New Year's with us, we really appreciate you hanging out. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. All of our pages. Subscribe to all of our channels. We're on pretty much every social media channel you can think of. We're live tonight on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Doesn't take just us to run this page. It takes all y'all in the community. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We got special guest Ben here tonight and plays for Coach. Coach had to bounce a little bit early tonight. So, Ben, we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you hopping in. Jake says, I hope Nick would let Barkley try to get the record, but I understand that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, you don't want him to get hurt before the playoffs. But honestly, like we were talking about earlier, he can definitely get that done in the first half.
I will say this though, that I know just from that one game where he could have he could have kept playing. And he decided to sit out and let the young boys play. He's not a selfish player. I'm sure that every ounce of his being he wants to break that record, but I don't think that he's salty about it either. I think he's very much a team player, and I respected him for that.
No, yeah, 100%. All right, so we're looking at our primetime picks. I'm going to do it a little bit different this week. We're going to bounce around to games that actually kind of matter. So I'm going to hit some of the 4 o'clock games. We'll start on Saturday. We have basically the AFC North taking over on Saturday. We're going to start with the first game at 4:30. We got the Cleveland Browns, decimated Cleveland Browns visiting the Baltimore Ravens. This one should be too hard to pick. Say it all in 3. 1, 2, 3. Ravens.
Browns. Ravens, easy. Yeah. Purple, baby.
Yep. The situation for them, if they win, they pretty much get the AFC North. So moving on to the next game. Actually, interesting situation for both teams. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals 8-8 taking on the Steelers 10-6. Bengals win, they have a slim chance to make the wild card. If the Steelers win, it doesn't really do much for them unless Baltimore loses. Steelers win the AFC North if they take the win against the Bengals and Baltimore somehow loses to the Browns. Ben, who are we thinking? I have no audio from you, Ben.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. The mute
Sorry
button.
about that.
You're good.
Yeah, use the old-fashioned hot mic mute button. My bad. Anyways, Bengals, they're playing way too well to not do well in this game. They should absolutely torch the Steelers in the second half. I think that it's going to take a while for them to pull away just because, Steelers defense is really, really hot. They've always been very good. But ultimately, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, they're playing way too well. I'd say Bengals by a touchdown.
Good take. E?
I'm going to go with the Bengals. Like I said, Burrows is playing crazy right now. Russell's not. And obviously the Steelers defense is banged up. They're not playing as aggressive as they have been. So I say Bengals take this one.
Yeah, I think we'll go 3 for 3 here. Cincinnati, they always start really rough. They had an 0-3 start. So
they do that every year, bro.
They do it every year, but I think it'll cost them this year. They obviously need to win on Saturday, and then they also need the Broncos and the Dolphins to both lose. But all in all, I think the Bengals are the hottest team right now. They've won a couple straight games. They coming off a overtime win thriller against the Broncos. And they're just, they're just fighting their asses off, man. I think they're just playing a better ball. Steelers' offense has not impressed me whatsoever. They're kind of having issues at the running back position, obviously at the quarterback position as well. Russ is not playing as hot as he was before. So I think the Bengals are just going to want it more. So I'll go Bengals for the double on Saturday. Keep their slim playoff chances alive. Playoff hopes is alive. Ben, we already kind of hit this, but does it seem more realistic for Bucks win rather than the Falcons beating the Panthers?
It's more realistic that we're gonna win. We're gonna be fine against New Orleans.
E, do you agree with that?
Yeah,
it's easy enough for the Buccaneers. I mean, it's right there for the Buccaneers.
So you just have to grab it.
Yep, it's right there for the grabbing, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Kind of going down the list here. I was excited for the Seahawks Rams game because that was going to be the only really winner go home game. But the Rams, because of the Washington win on Sunday night, they ended up clinching the NFC West already. So that game is going to be nothing but pointless because the Rams will lock up the 4th seed. Couple of 4:00 games that will kind of matter a little bit. Forgot to mention it during our slate here. Aaron Rodgers might be playing his final game of his career. They host the Miami Dolphins, who are also going to be fighting for that last AFC wildcard spot. E, who you got in this game?
Who is it?
So Dolphins visiting the Jets.
Got Dolphins. Jets have been playing like trash. Dolphins haven't been playing great either, but
keep in mind too. They Tua is not healthy right now either. Again, so
I know, but the Jets have just been struggling.
Yeah,
if Tua doesn't play, the Jets are going to win. But if Tua does play, I don't see them beating the Dolphins.
Fair enough. Ben?
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have one last go, and he's probably going to have he's going to struggle for a little bit. You know, he's been struggling the whole year just because the cast that he has around him haven't necessarily helped him out. Although, I mean, he's throwing picks left and right. He's just sailing balls all the way down. This is tough because really, if Tua plays, Miami is going to win by 2 touchdowns. If Tua doesn't play, this is going to be a shootout, and it's literally just going to be whoever has the ball last. So, for purposes, give me the Jets in New York, beating the Dolphins, and helping the Cincinnati Bengals into a playoff spot.
Yep, I was gonna say the same exact thing. I'm gonna go Jets upset for the week. This would be my upset for the week. I don't think the Dolphins are really deserving of this playoff spot either. They started 2-6. I think there's not good chemistry going on with the Dolphins this year. I was really excited to see Tyreek go for another 1,000 yards this season, but he's really failed to do that. But yeah, I think if this is potentially Aaron Rodgers' final game, I think he'll ball out. And kind of just give it a show. So I'll go Jets upset for this weekend, helping the Cincinnati Bengals out.
Did y'all see the Green Bay Packers lineman roast Rodgers for his newly acquired record?
Oh my gosh!
Congrats on your most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
Terrible! What an asshole, bro!
He said, "Hell yeah, congrats, Aaron Rodgers, another one for the record books."
Jesus Christ!
I love that. I love it. Dude.
Yeah.
Look.
Hell yeah, congrats.
he even like specifically told him personally.
Bakhtiari.
That shit is priceless, man.
Oh, you love to see it.
I loved it. Bakhtiari. He was fun to watch when he was with the Packers.
He was very solid.
Yeah, he's kind of like that skipper guy on the Lions. A little bit. I know they played. He was a fullback. Bakhtiari, but was Bakhtiari? Is he was a lineman?
He was a lineman.
He's okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's left tackle, I believe.
Left tackle. Okay, so like the skipper guy on the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, moving on. We have Chiefs. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, Chiefs have already locked up the number 1 seed. They have no reason to play their starters. They're going to be playing all their backups. They're going to Denver, which in Denver's case, if they win, they get that last spot. Does Denver have this pretty easy, guys?
I think Kansas City's backups are going to fight as hard as possible, just that way that, they're basically playing for a roster spot next year. If Bo Nix takes care of the football,
playing with backups anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, like their backups are nasty. So this is tough. I mean, because if Bo Nix actually like takes care of the football, and he's able to finish drives like he's been lately, I think the Broncos will take it. But don't be surprised if Kansas City comes out still with a win. And if they do, and the Dolphins end up losing to the Jets, and the Cincinnati Bengals ultimately win, you will see the Cincinnati Bengals clinch that 7th seed.
5% chance right now.
5%, but still exists.
Yeah, anything's possible.
So to all my coworkers and friends in Ohio, good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Facts. Yeah, for me, Denver's currently a 10.5 point favorite. Carson Wentz. What'd you say?
I'm gonna go Denver.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Denver. I'll go Denver as well. I think the opportunity is right there for them. The opportunity is right there for them. They win, they're in the playoff. They get that 7th seed. They will, if they do win, they will have to go to Buffalo though. Definitely a tough place to play. So, but I think the opportunity is there for them. I think Bo Nix is he was made for this moment, and yeah. So I think they're just playing good. They're playing good ball right now. So I'll go Broncos. All right, and last but not least, we got the game of the week, Sunday Night Football. We got a juggernaut. Of a matchup. We got East Minnesota Vikings visiting the red hot Detroit Lions. Don't get me wrong, Minnesota Vikings are red hot as well. I'll go to you last.
You don't even got good at me. You already know what I'm saying.
I know. We still got to hear it though. I am going to go Minnesota Vikings upset. Believe it or not, I think they're just yes. I think
after you just hated last episode. I mean,
I've been really impressed. I've been really impressed what I've been seeing lately. Some in my gut just feels like that the Lions are gonna cough up the division. You said 20 plus injuries on their defense and just overall in general.
Yeah.
Some division games are funny. I say it all the time. Division games are very, very tricky, but something in me just feels like it's gonna be down to the wire. It's gonna be Vikings, so I will go Vikings upset in Detroit.
This is tough because, I mean, these two teams are just absolutely clobbering and just fighting their way to these 14-2 records. I mean, it's going to come down. It's literally coming down to a coin flip for me. Give me the Lions. It's going to be an overtime victory. Give me the Lions.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now,
get ready to come to Tampa.
That's right. Could you imagine if it's Vikings Bucks next week? we're here on the show next week. Oh gosh,
it would be absolutely nasty.
Do you get playoff tickets or no?
Yes,
I do get playoff tickets. So you'll be at the game next week.
Yeah, I will be there.
Gotta win first. Gotta win first.
Gotta win, and you're in, and then I will be there. So
now we'll say that out of the Lions injuries, they do have some people that are eligible to come back if like things play out right.
Mm-hmm.
Like currently injured, not on the IR list kind of situation.
Yeah.
So I mean, they do have some of those people potentially able to. It's not saying they are, but there are some key pieces that could come back.
It's something to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're never gonna pick against your team.
I'm never gonna. I don't care if we're fucking 1-14 like we've been a million times before.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna pick my team every time. But
of course,
I wouldn't be surprised either way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions win. I wouldn't be surprised if we win. But I would love to see us win that and get that number one seed.
Jake with the take right there.
That is crazy though.
Definitely
That's
comical. We're gonna get one of those 14-win teams to come to Tampa, and that's just
it's gonna be
be tough.
It's crazy for you guys, regardless. I mean, it's gonna be a tough week, regardless.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be rough.
I just feel like if we were able to get this win, if we are, and we get that number one spot, it's going to make the playoff picture a lot different for us. Like I said, people having to come to our stadium and play is different than us hitting the road. We've been playing great on the road this year, obviously, but at the same time, we've also lost on the road this year. And like I said, that stadium's just so loud. And imagine the playoff energy of that stadium is going to be something that could be
crazy,
changing for us.
I mean,
we have a lot to fight for.
It's definitely going to be a culture setting environment. It's not just going to set. It's
a good question.
It's already a tough environment to play, but to get that one seed in a divisional round, an automatic bye to a divisional round, it's going to have that crowd just go berserk.
I agree.
Come out that tunnel.
So here's something else that I'm curious about. If the Bucks win and the Rams lose, who has the tiebreaker? Would it be the Rams?
Ooh,
because y'all have the same record. You'll both be 10-7.
That is interesting.
You'll both be 4-2 in division play.
Let's see. Bucks would get the third seed.
Ooh.
If the Rams lose to the
Seahawks. If the Rams lose to the Seahawks, which by the way, it doesn't matter because the Rams already locked in the NFC West, so it doesn't really matter. And they are starting Jimmy Garoppolo this weekend.
I just want to say something. And this is something like I'm not trying to knock on my city. But ever since 2009, we have struggled to fill Raymond James Stadium. Los Angeles, they have struggled with away crowds taking over for Chargers games. Rams games, we really haven't seen that much just because the Rams have been around in LA. They were around for, I believe, at least 30 or 40 years before they moved to St. Louis and then they came back. So,
they had the better like team chemistry with Sean McVay. They've just had a better more energizing, more fun to watch team than the Chargers.
Now, I will say, if we end up getting the fourth seed, it's going to be red inside that stadium. Just because people are going to come out of the woodwork and actually show up for this.
Oh yeah.
If we get the third seed, it's still going to be red, but I don't think people are going to take it as serious unless if they have to face a 14-win team. Now, who I would rather play? Give me Washington all day. Give me Jaden Daniels because we've already played him once this season. We've
But
already
if you had to pick between the Vikings and the Lions, who would you rather play?
The Vikings or the Lions? Ooh.
I think that's what Jake was asking when he said, who would you rather play?
Yeah. So Detroit is an absolute juggernaut. Like, you can take out half of their roster and they'll just
still put up 40 points.
They'll still put up 40, no problem.
That's crazy.
When we played them earlier in the season in week 2, and we ended up beating them, it was literally just Todd Bowles having unique blitz designs because, like, he'll rush 6, he'll rush 7, like he'll just bring 7 in the box and just make it look like he's bringing the entire house. He'll bring 8 into the box, have him up on the line, make it look like he's about to rush 8 and just do an all-out blitz, and then just disguise coverages the whole time. I would rather face the Lions than the Vikings because Sam Darnold is playing his absolute ass off. Vikings are super dangerous. Lions, I would say, are a little less because Jared Goff, he tends to struggle when it comes to those big time games. And if they end up losing to Minnesota on Sunday, we're going to see, if we end up winning and the Rams end up winning, then we'll just get the 4 seed and we'll have to face Detroit. I feel more comfortable with them than Minnesota. We haven't faced Minnesota all season. I feel like it will be more difficult to face Minnesota rather than Detroit.
Now, I will say this. You talked about your coach's disguised defensive play.
Yeah.
The one advantage that you'll have is that's what Brian Flores does too. And you guys may have a little bit more advantage of being able to know how that works.
Right.
Because we run a shit ton of disguised coverage too.
Yeah.
Where it looks like we're about to blitz 8, and then we have people because our team's fast enough to drop back.
Yeah. And I think that Detroit doesn't run that, obviously. I don't know. It's just something about Jared Goff. It really is something about Jared Goff come playoff time. He's not on his A game.
Look at him last year. Look at him last year.
It's an absolute war. I do want to avenge our loss to Detroit and absolutely take them down. Minnesota, the disguise coverage thing. I don't know. I can't tell off the top of my head whether or not Baker has had to face that at all this season. I know that he probably has to face it in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Lions. I'll play the Lions all day if I had to. But we'll see this Sunday.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I swear we're at almost 4 hours now. I swear we try to make it short each week, but we just got so much content to go over.
Well, this week was a little different. We had 2 weeks worth,
Yeah, that's true. So it was kind of necessary to go almost 4 hours. But nonetheless, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hope you guys had a happy New Year and a happy holidays. It is sad it is the last week of the regular season, but nonetheless, we're getting hyped for the. It's going to be a good playoff run here. Coming up next week. Next week we'll pretty much go back to normal. We'll go back to Tuesday night, as far as I'm aware. We'll let you know otherwise. We'll go back to Tuesday night. We'll cover everything NBA. We'll get some more talking to the college football playoff as the semifinals are next Thursday and Friday, with the Orange Bowl on Thursday and the Cotton Bowl next Friday. And then we got a full weekend of wild card playoff next weekend. So make sure you tune in next week. You hit that alert, hit that alert button on all of our pages. Make sure you like and subscribe all of our channels. We're pretty much on every channel you can think of. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us on your New Year's Day, first day of 2025. Jake, we appreciate you hopping in, brother. Best of luck to the Eagles.
Thank you,
Hopefully,
Jake.
absolutely. Hopefully Sirianni changes his mind and lets Saquon do his thing. Other than that,
we do got 2 straggler clips that never got played tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm
just playing those to see what they are.
Made plays. Other times they had success. This time we.
A bunch of you, bro. A bunch of you.
Me. I know, right? It's a bunch of me's. That's right.
And then I do know this one here. This is when with the Ravens coach.
Denied by Washington. What a play!
My man tried.
We all died laughing.
Denied by Washington. What a play by the safety.
Oh, man.
This motherfucker goes flying. He absolutely goes flying in the camera view.
Oh, man, we got one more clip, too.
One more question for you. What is your biggest turn on?
Patrick Mahomes. Have you been reading my Twitter, I think?
Every fucking time.
That's it. I'm done.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, we appreciate it. We appreciate everyone. Ben, thank you for hopping in. Last second, appreciate you hopping in.
Thanks again for having me, man.
Absolutely. Until next episode, be good to people. Say a little prayer for everyone in New Orleans. Very fucked up what happened, but hopefully everyone's going to be just fine. We'll recover from this for sure. Until then, have a happy new year. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, be good to people. Peace.